to the the road trip. Yeah. Yes, I am DWTT, Gary, to my friends and all. I should have some guests joining me. At least I expect it. So if not, it'll just be me. We'll have a short show or not. We'll see how this thing goes. Just watching some of these games that are starting up right now, or finishing up actually. FA Cup quarterfinals. Uh, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Coventry City. For those who are Wolves fans, you are happy now. When I woke up, they were not happy. Coventry City had scored a goal, and after that time, they looked like they were about to finish this thing off and maybe put 2, 3 goals in, but they have missed their opportunities. And as things stand right now, they are now down 2-1 after being up 1-0 with opportunities to put a second and third and fourth goal even in there. It's very disappointing for them, I bet, but they've had their chances and they can't blame anyone with themselves. They had a really nice chip over the goalkeeper that was missed. They've had multiple opportunities to put the ball on target, maybe to make the goalkeeper make a save. Nothing there. Oof. So, yeah, they will be disappointed in their play as far as finishing off this game. So right now it looks like Wolves are through. They're in the 90th minute. They got about 9 minutes of extra time, so they have some time to make up. But they have squandered, as they say, some chances here, and it's coming back to haunt them. It came back to haunt them. All right, so yeah. So that's how that is going. Got Brenny. I see Brenny in the house. Brenny, thanks for joining me. Yeah, as I said, right now it's just me. It is it's not even an interlull. It's just FA Cup weekend, right? As I said, it's FA Cup weekend. Arsenal bowed out of it, and now we let everybody else play. And I guess we would have been playing Chelsea this week, but guess what? They keep winning. Big Gunner's in the house. Welcome to the house from the Boogie Down. Hello. We should have more people join us as people wake up and realize, hey, it is Saturday. It is the road trip. We've got some games that have already started. It looks like this must be from the previous game. They're showing Bournemouth against Luton. That happened midweek here. Luton went up 3-0 and then proceeded to get run down and lost 4-1. So, yeah, our friend Mark is probably happy now if he woke up to watch this. It didn't look so good for about 80 minutes. Now it's looking really good. So he should be happy. We want people happy, but the Coventry City would have been a story, yeah. So that's where we are. What else is going on in the world of football? Let's check that out. I don't think they're. Let's see, they're outside of. Oh, you know what? I keep doing this. I've got 2 screens, so I have to switch my mouse around. So look. Somebody's screaming at me. I don't know. Damn it! I told you it's 2 p.m. Why would I change my time? I don't know. 11 o'clock is gonna. That's why I do it at this time because it works perfectly for me, and I thought it did for you guys, except for this 2-3 week period. If you can make it, cool. I know. So Mr. Tom hopefully will be joining us. Hopefully won't be upset. The show started without him. And yeah, we'll see if he joins us. So quick, let's see what's going on with the scores. Any scores right now? In England football, there's nothing on yet until about 11 my time. Let's see what we got here for any other football scores. So you got about 6 minutes left of extra time here. Wolves are in the attack in Coventry. It's just yeah. Uh-oh. Let's see what he said here. Yeah, I know, buddy. And because there's no, yeah, I get it. I get it, but we usually talk when there's no football. We have enough to talk about. Oh, I'll join you. All right. Yeah. See, see, that's what I meant. I'm gonna get a salty Mr. Tom. But we all love a salty Mr. Tom, a little upset Mr. Tom. You know. So we'll see what happens when he joins. All right. So any scores coming in? Let's see. Checking out the scores there for those that La Liga. They're Mallorca and Granada still 0-0 in the 50th minute here. In Serie A, Monza, Cagliari, Udinese, and Torino. They're both 0-0 games at this point. No Germany matches until about half an hour from now. Liga, nothing going on until later today. Netherlands still has not started. Yes, so I guess we're a bit early. I'm a bit early, but yes, yes, yeah. So yeah, as Mr. Tom says, he's a bit salty when the wind changes. Yeah, I bet. But he'll join and we'll have some fun. We'll go through this thing called whatever football match day weekend. Yes, we're a little bit early, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll get through. We'll get through. We'll get through. Um, yeah. So welcome to the show. If you haven't already, hit the likes, as they say, and subscribe if you have not. So we have some games. I guess we have game. Oh, the games don't start for another hour, but we'll be fine. We'll chat. We'll chat. There's a lot. There's other things we can chat about, right? Yeah, yeah. I think if I wanted to do a show later, I wouldn't be able to anyway. So for me, this is the best time. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, Ray's joined us. Welcome to the show, Ray. So Ray, yes. So I keep forgetting, and it's probably partly me, but I don't think I could change my time over here, anyways. Those in the UK are an hour. They're only 4 hours ahead of us today, and football doesn't start for another hour. Anyways, but we do have FA Cup, and right now we've got about 3 minutes left in extra time. Coventry City is trying to get that uh, the goal to seal to draw this thing up. It's 2-1 right now. Wolves, who have scored 2 goals after being down 1-0 late, and they were able to respond. Coventry City had chances to get that second and even third and fourth goal. And they get it. Coventry gets that goal. They just slow build up. Wolves look like cones, slow moving cones, and cross comes in and a header and at the far post from where the build up was, and a nice easy header to an open goal. Wow! So it is 2-2 right now. Yes, 2-2 right now, and yeah, this is what match day FA. This is what road trip is all about. Nice header from the near post. I guess you could near post side and back to the play on the far post, and he heads it. Goalkeeper doesn't have a chance. Yeah, they did not mark. They didn't mark the center forward, which is poor defense. Samido, I think is what his name is standing there looking, turns around, looks over, and goes, "Oh damn, I made a mistake." And there you go. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Short notice, but make your upset pick. Yeah, I saw that. I put mine in, so hopefully it gets there. 4 hour difference now. Yeah, you guys should come up, speed up with us. When we go, if we spring forward, you should spring forward as well, as they say, right? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And we've got Alonzo's in the house. Welcome to the show, Alonzo. All right, people. And here we go. Coventry City's. Uh-oh. So, like I said, 1 minute. There's 1 minute left, though. We'll still have a chance to retake the lead and finish this thing off at the death. We shall see what happens. Cross comes in. Coventry heads it away. And, defender. I don't know why you would do that, but he kind of touched the ball back deep into the box and should have just tried to turn the ball out. And And here we go. So we're gonna have about 20 seconds before they've hit the 9-minute mark here. And let's see. So yeah, as you can see, I kind of got the screen over here, so I'm kind of looking away from you guys. But yeah. So he's gonna, by the time he boots this thing, it will be already 9 minutes have passed, and see if they whistle blows. I don't know. Is it straight to penalty kicks, or do they get some extra time in the quarterfinals here? Coventry looks like they might get some time left here. Yes. Yes. Yep, the game is on ESPN Plus, Alonso. So, yeah. So 9 minutes has passed, but this thing could be over. Yeah. Coventry has been, as far as I can see, the most dominant player. Oh, it's over! It's over! And it's not Wolves! Oh, no! They scored 2 goals in the last 3 minutes. Wolves' defense basically looked stuck in the mud. And oh my. You watch that build up, and you're like, are you kidding me? Wolves basically fell asleep in this last, basically in those last 9 minutes. They just needed to defend, and they did not do a good job. Coventry just split them apart, which I think that's poor for Gary O'Neill, right? But ball comes on the left hand side. He takes it, he puts it in, gets nice touch from one guy, and oof, yeah. No, they didn't have anybody marked, and it was a nice finish to the far post. Goalkeeper, by the time he doesn't have a chance, but he should have been defended. Wow, wow, wow! What a crazy up and down roller coaster ride, as Ray would say. Yes, Mr. Tom. 3-2 now, Coventry. They are in extra time now, and the whistle should be blowing soon. This thing should be over. Um, so yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Tom says he wants to see Fulham put one over on this what you call it team. There it is. It's over. It's over. It's over. Coventry City, who was leading and should have, if you would have thought about it, they probably should have won it anyways. Um, but they just did not finish their dinner, as some would say. Let the Wolves back in, actually fell behind, and then came back and did it themselves. They finally got clinical with their shooting, which is the difference in the game. It could have been a blowout game, really and truly. But Wolves came in, they fought hard, but they just did not defend well after they got the lead for sure. Did not mark anyone on the cross for the header to tie it, and then did not were nowhere close to the attacker when he put that ball to the far corner. So wow. So get your picks in for those who are in our little group there. Yeah, yeah. Roller coaster Ray needs a, I don't know what that means. Needs a Tums, I guess. Is that what that means? Yeah, so this was I guess this is why FA Cup should be all by itself, right? We shouldn't be having Premier League games in the middle of this thing. This was really a good game, especially for the teams from the other leagues to come in there and put a good showing out there, and they did. They did. Yeah, yeah. Wow, 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 wow. It's really all I can say. Yeah, Arsenal must win there in the league. You mean at Wolves? I guess they must win every match out here and out. Roller coaster trademark. If you say so. Mm. So yeah. So there you go, people. So this mm. So there you go. So that's let me see if I can get some more details over here as to what might be going on. Anything else? Oh, we got a score. We do have a score outside of England. Udinese, Torino's up 1-0 at Udinese right now in the 16th minute. Not too many other scores going on. This thing has MLS on here. I don't know why I have MLS scores. Still no score in La Liga for the early games. So Serie A, I just gave you one of the scores. Otherwise, oh boy, I'm going to destroy this name. But in the Turkey Super League, Trendyol Super League. Uh-oh. Let's see who we got. Oh no, he's doing something. I don't know if he's joining me or not. Oh, maybe he is joining me. So here we go. Joining me, Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom's in the house.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm not too bad. Apologies, it's early in the day. Or I'm doing the things I would usually do in the hour before the show,
Yeah,
as in breakfast.
yeah. I kind of, what's funny is just before the show started, I was munching on a donut. We have something over here, and I'll get into that. We'll say hello to Taib first. Taib, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as also.
He's a
Taib
nice
says,
guy, that Taib.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he's nice, but his jokes are a little dirty for me, as I would say. But yeah, I had we have something over here called Duck Donuts. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
I've never heard of it. Please
They
explain.
make your donuts basically when you order them, essentially, and you get all these, special kind of. So the donuts are hot and like really tasty.
Oh
You know,
yeah, we do have that here. It's more of a holiday resort time kind of thing though. Like if you're at the beach, there'll be like a stand where, and it goes through the machine and like it fries them and in oil. Yeah, sort of know what you mean.
yeah. So they made a sandwich. We had a breakfast sandwich. Me and my wife split, and then they had a donut. It's got maple frosting on it with pieces of bacon on it. so so right before the show, I was like, one more bite, and then I'll start the show. All right, one more bite, and then I'll start the show. Oh wait, one more bite, and then I'll start the show. But
Have you finished that donut?
no, I still have a little bit of a
Oh,
teaser
Gary, you
left.
should eat. You should be eating as you go along.
Yeah,
They're not gonna. They're gonna understand.
no,
It's a
they definitely
donut
would
and
understand.
bacon.
I just couldn't be late. You know me. I like to try to be on time if I can.
Yeah,
Um,
I have no such ruling when it comes to
you know
eating.
what it is? They say that is what you're supposed to do with your shows. People know. Look, Gary's going to be on time. Ray's going to be late. And those types of things. They know that from
You
the.
got to be consistent. Like for example, people have got to know I might be on time. I might be 2 minutes late.
True.
It
True.
depends on what time Tony shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. You drink their coffee. I assume they. I haven't had their coffee just because we're just all about the donuts, right? And you know, Tom, you must now do the things you would normally do 2 hours before. Wow.
Because it's Easter,
It's
hot
Easter.
cross buns are in season.
Oh my. So you only get it around Easter time?
But that's when they're more prevalent. Yeah,
Hot cross buns. What's the song? You know the song.
yeah.
Sing it.
Nah.
Come on, dude. I haven't heard it in so long. Come on. For my British roots, come on.
Well, I know part of the song.
Go on.
I know it's hot cross bun, something, 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 hot cross bun.
All right.
Kind of.
Yeah, I don't know what those that something 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 is.
You
But
can Google it because I don't know. Oh,
yeah,
that's what I would need to do. But it's nice. There's a little bit of spice to it.
yeah.
We got some sultanas, raisins. Personally, I slice it open and lash some butter on it.
Yes. Yes.
Not bad.
It's 10:20 over here right now, Ray, and I think you know that because you are an hour away from me, probably, if that, or an hour and a half. Dunkin' Donuts is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard. You know what? Their coffee's good. I've been trying this new thing. They have this mushroom tea, so I've been trying that, and I like that as I actually like that. So I've been doing that. But they're showing a replay of the game here. I don't know. You were watching it as well. Did you get to watch it because it was on regular? Was it on regular TV for you guys?
I actually could watch it, but I didn't
Mm.
because of the basically because I was doing work on my wrestling show last night after the stoop. I woke up a time that I was like, oh, okay. I woke up at 1 p.m. basically. I was like, let's see if Gary's scheduled a show for 2 p.m. I was like, God damn it, he scheduled a show for 2 p.m. And then I was like, he's gonna have heard what I said. Like, there's gonna be no football for him. He's gonna be like, oh, he can take a lie in or something. It's like, no, obviously he didn't because he went and got his breakfast donut.
Well, no, you know what? It was like, what time was it? It was almost 9 o'clock, and my wife's like, "Do you want to come with me to go?" I was like, "No." She doesn't know my schedule, or she really doesn't care to know my schedule when it comes to whatever I'm doing. That's what I'm going to say. She's not here
She's like, he's
tonight,
on the computer. I know where he is.
so so yeah. But she knows every Saturday I do my show in the morning, so if she doesn't know where I'm at, she knows I'm probably. Plus, she can hear me. Yeah. So yeah. I've made a what is it? I made a soda bread this morning, and lots of butter and marmalade. Ooh,
Put
nice.
lots of butter on. Like, if you're gonna put butter on something, the correct amount is always lots.
Yeah, well, you know what? You want to see the butter melt and just like not
Mm-hmm.
have nowhere to go, right? And then or just make sure that the crevices, the little pockets, are just filled with butter juice, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there's
Yep.
just nowhere to go. It soaked
Yep.
up as much as the bread as it can, and now it's just gonna and then you're like, oh yes. Yeah, we were talking about there's a place I lived in Boston, and there's this little diner, and they have one of those like butter wheels. You know what those are? It's like a wheel, and like underneath and the bottom of it is butter, and when they roll it, the butter gets onto the big cylinder, and then they just do that, and that's how they butter their toast.
This
It's you know how sometimes you make toast, and if you don't spread it around enough, you're gonna have little pockets of like no butter. I know it's
yeah.
usually sometimes could be the last bite, and you're like, damn it, I wish I had some more butter. Well, there's no missing. You don't miss.
There
Everything gets
are
butter.
human beings out there, Gary. This will surprise you. There are human beings out there that don't believe in the thing I believe about butter and the usage of it. There are people out there who are like, no, you only need a little bit of butter. I was like, the fuck you do? What are you talking about? I'm gonna die of something. It might as well be cholesterol.
Yeah, it's gonna come. So you know what? Sometimes it's like I want to be happy. I don't want to be sad. Like, well, I ate healthy all my life, so I can live a little bit longer. Whatever, 5 years maybe, 1 year. Who knows what the difference is? You see people who eat the same crap for their entire life and they live to like 90, and then other people
Hmm.
eat healthy and then they're done in their 60s. So my thing is that's why I say don't waste the trip, enjoy the ride, because you never know. So that's what it's
You
all
can
about.
eat
Crush,
every healthy food ever and look after all your stuff, and then
yeah,
walk outside and get hit by a bus.
true.
So
You never
I'm
know.
gonna
Yeah,
enjoy it.
yeah. There's nobody. There is no. They don't. You don't get an invite most of the time. It just happens sometimes. All right. So cold toast or hot toast? I don't even know what that means. What is that first thing? Cold toast? Does that mean you toasted the bread and then you just let it sit there and then you come back later and then you try to put butter on it and the butter doesn't melt because it's cold?
I find toast a fascinating concept, right? Because, and this could sound really silly, but the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. There was a human being on this planet at some point in the existence of humanity that thought, oh, what will happen if I cook bread twice? Think about it.
True. Very true. That is
Like,
crazy, right?
they made
Yeah.
the bread, and then they thought, how about I put it back in the oven after I slice it?
Well, the crazy thing is, right? Like hot bread with butter, toasted bread with butter, both marvelous, both melt the butter, both very good. But cold toast, that's not cold. Cold toast is just basically for me a butter sandwich. You know what I mean? That's not toast. For it to be toast, it has to be warm. Yes, if it's toasted, that means it was hot at once. But if it's toast, that means it's hot for me. That's how I.
I agree.
That's what I say. You can't have cold toast. You can have some toasted bread. That would be your cold toast, or you have hot toast, or you just have toast. What do you mean? Yeah.
Sometimes I do
Yeah.
have a toasted sandwich, which is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a delicious
Yeah. See,
treat.
this is where you go with Taib, right? The pleasantries to start the day, and then it just goes a little bit dirty after that.
Yeah, but I would argue that that is the sort of comment that ingratiates him even more to my heart. And like when I say, "Oh, he's a great man," it's usually because of things like this.
Oh man, yeah. Do I watch? I watch the NBA, but not as much as I watch anything else now. I used to watch NFL and college football. I do watch college football because my team is on usually, and it doesn't conflict with Arsenal because it's usually after, like it would be after this show,
Mm.
because the show's like the earliest a college football game is at 12. But
Well,
my team usually plays later anyways because they're in Florida and it's really hot, so they usually have evening games if they can.
when Arsenal do their tour of America,
Yeah,
I know you ain't done it a lot, but
yeah.
like a couple of years, let's say. Is it more weird when you see Arsenal at the same time that say you'd watch the Dallas Cowboys? Because you're essentially you're used to our football being a
Yeah.
morning sport. I'm guessing.
It is weird because like you said, because I think it was a Saturday when we played Manchester United, and so I got up. I think I actually did the show of you guys, and then I left
Yeah.
early or something like that,
Yep.
right? To go because it was at 1 p.m. or something like that, which is really late.
Hmm.
Yeah, usually I'll be done with football. Now I'm going to get ready for it. I think they should just play it at the regular time because we're already watching it at that time anyways, right? Over here
I
in the
think
States, we're
it's a
already watching,
television thing.
huh?
It must be a television thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a television thing, but I mean, I don't know. That's some,
Well, you do. I don't know if you know, but next summer there's going to be a lot of football in America because you're going to have the CONCACAF Gold Cup on. I think it's on the East Coast. I could have it the wrong way round, so please excuse me. It's going to be CONCACAF not World Cup, is it? CONCACAF the Gold Cup on
yeah.
one half of America, and on the other is the FIFA Club World Cup.
Oh my, wow.
Yeah, the actual tournament. If you win the Champions League, you'll be in it.
Oh my. I might have to or might have to sell sell off the house or something like that to get tickets. If they're playing
There's
on the East Coast, I'm gonna have to try and go to that. But yeah, that would be crazy to see. You
it's
know,
one of these competitions that everyone is saying like, oh, there's too much football, there's too much football. But everyone knows the prize money is going to be massive for
very
like
true.
2 weeks' work,
Yeah,
like essentially.
cool.
And they're holding it in America. Presumably, it's the equivalent of a dress rehearsal for the tournament the next year, the actual World Cup.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
FIFA have invented it because they obviously FIFA only make money 1 year out of every 4. So obviously a World Cup year. So then they actually look at why are UEFA making money every year hand over fist because it's Champions League obviously.
Yep.
And they're like, well, we want a bit of that pie.
Yeah.
So they've invented their own tournament, or not invented, but
True.
they've expanded what usually happens in December with 6 teams
Yeah. I
into
mean, they should have. I
32.
mean, if they really want to have something, they should have like a whatever 5, 6 continent kind of a thing. So the best team in each continent plays or something like that.
They've done that's the historically that's what they've done for about
Yeah.
20 years. Like the equivalent of the Champions League winner in every continent
Oh,
plays.
true.
They call it something else, and they're
Mhm.
still going to do that, and they're going to change the name of that as well. But
Mm,
uh, they're going
yeah,
to expand it into. There's different routes of qualifying for it. Like
I hear
some
you.
Benfica have qualified for it as like something to do with their UEFA coefficient and that. But the
Mhm.
only way for an English team really to guarantee themselves in it is to win the Champions League.
Yeah, You know what? Spencer. You know what? Before we get to Spencer's comment, ladies and gentlemen,
announcing the arrival of His Esteemed Lord Greenwood the Fifth.
Hello, everybody.
hello, hello, hello.
That fanfare is it's just about acceptable.
Oh,
Thank you, sir.
Just about acceptable. But thank you very much. It's always wonderful to see you people. I take my lovely Bentley Malzahn out for a trip every Saturday to see the plebs and heathens and peasants like yourselves.
cool. Did you
So
bless
how
them
are we doing?
Did you bless them with any of your golden coins?
No, I didn't. But I gave one scruffy chap a golden shower.
Ouch. Was he cold?
No, you smiled.
Before we continue on with Lord Greenwood, Taib was asking about the NBA. I do watch the NBA. Miami Heat is my team. I don't watch it as much. Like I said, Arsenal probably gets most of my viewing time. But when the Heat are on and I have a chance, I will watch them. But I was just going to say
Did
this.
our football try to take that over in your time? Let's just say.
Nah. NBA is on in the evening, so usually I could watch it if I wanted to. But I'm like tapped out of like watching sports and talking sports and all that. So I usually miss it.
Football basically tapped into that time.
Yeah. I just have like a limit, I guess, of how much I'm going to watch. But Spencer, I knew I like this guy. I mean, I like toast with butter, but he's got it. He's gone like, to that next level, the level I didn't even know that existed.
He knows what he's talking about, this fellow.
Yes, he said, unless toast has bacon, sausage, or ham, then it's wasted calories. And you know what? He is not wrong.
Definitely not wrong. Definitely.
He's not wrong. The man's he knows what he's talking about. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, but you know what they should make? They should try and do a thing where, like, you basically put the pork into a what would you call it? A spherical type of shape, a ball as such, and then you cover that with some kind of breading.
Oh my God, it sounds like a very dirty night in Ipswich.
I thought you were gonna say you flatten it out into like a toast,
You
into
stick
like
your
a bread,
sausage in
a slice of bread.
Object.
Yeah. Oh, see, now this is where the Lord goes, and I just
Pop ball.
Gary, you love a spherical object, you slag. I know you do.
Just dirty and nasty.
But
dirty
Gary,
why
are you so lazy?
What did I do now?
The advertisement for the show says 3:00.
Oh, it does. Oh, because I just cut and paste. So yes, I am lazy.
That's exactly. I checked the tweet and I was basically like, "Oh, it says 3:00. Oh, so he has taken time change into account." And then
I couldn't have, because if I did, it wouldn't have said 10 a.m. before.
Well, 2:00. We're starting this is a bohemian hour, and 2:00 is. Plebs and peasants are out in the streets.
Yeah, this is a U.S. show, so everything's U.S. based. So you should know this. Sorry,
you're a lazy slag.
I am. I cut and paste, and I didn't really want to. I didn't change anything. I equate MetLife with Eddie now. I do not.
You should though.
Yeah. Wolves got done today. Did you guys see it? I saw this
game. Incredible game.
Yeah, I everybody, as they were saying, Coventry should have been up 2-3-0, 4-0 probably before Wolves even started making their subs. And when they made their subs, made a difference, right? One guy had an assist and a goal, and then they fell asleep.
5 minutes were crazy, absolute crazy. 5 minutes, the last before the whistle. Mm-hmm. Goals galore.
Yes.
We love goals.
What are you drinking, Tom?
I love in football.
What are you drinking, Tom? You absolute heathen. What are you drinking?
It is coffee.
Is that what they call it now? Is it? I know what you're drinking.
Yes. We got the beans from one of your colonies.
Yes. Good.
So
Good.
Are
I
those
like.
the golden showered
It's the
level of?
golden shower version.
Oh, did you say it's golden shower? Oh, give me more of it then.
Golden shower beads.
Joining the show, we've got Brownie, and I assume Cardiff didn't have a good day.
I knew they were losing in the biggest derby in
Well,
Wales.
Cardiff losing. Well, that's nothing new, is it?
Yeah, I saw. I thought I saw a Cardiff score, but I
Don't
didn't.
worry, Brownie will come back with some kind of, everything was better in 1978.
Yes, he does have answers for everything.
Oh,
That man.
2-0.
2-0, so not
2-0.
even like. Not
Everything
even.
was better in 1978 before we had penicillin and fucking AIDS.
Okay.
Anyway,
so Swansea
the real
is
big match today.
Swansea. You think Sheffield Wednesday will have a big day today?
I was literally about to say the real big game today is Ipswich versus Sheffield Wednesday. The battle of the Leeds boys. Leif Davis versus Ian Pervader. Yes, those are names. But
Yes.
one's on loan from Leeds, one used to play for Leeds. Jesse Marsh masterclass, let's just say. Where he basically was like, I don't like playing with wide players, to which he then essentially gave Leif Davis to Ipswich, and he now has the record amount of assists for a defender in the Championship with like 9 games to go. So Jesse Marsh just breaking new ground all the time.
Right.
The genius.
I have a little chicken to pluck with you.
Uh-oh.
And that is,
Sorry, with who?
I find it rather fascinating the way you support football.
Uh-oh.
And this is no dig. This is no dig. I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from. It's just, that's all it is.
Is it that
There's
I hate
no dig.
everyone?
I'm not trying to dig anyone out here. I'm just saying, rather fascinating the way you look at football, your football universe, so to speak. Whereas you're just like, your football universe seems to mainly pertain to Leeds and what's related to Leeds, and anything outside of that is not really of much interest.
That is true.
And it's just very strange, isn't it? Because you got the great heights of football, like the World Cup and the Euros, and then you have like the Champions League. But then none of that seems to interest you because your team Leeds has got nothing to do with it.
Well, I can justify that by saying you're 100% accurate. If it's not Leeds, then it needs to fuck off.
You see, that's so strange. You can't enjoy, the heights of the pinnacles of football like the Champions League. I mean, back in the early 2000s, Leeds were in the Champions League. I mean, what did you do then? What did you do?
I love the Champions League in the early 2000s.
Oh, you see. So you're a bit of a hypocrite then, are you? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
It's actually not hypocrisy. Yes. It's openly saying I liked it when my team was in it.
Right. Okay. It's okay. We've established you're a hypocrite. That's fine. We're fine with that.
I'm a lot worse things than that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Somebody, Lord, does not like you, or has no. They do not look up to you the way you think your plebs should. I mean, Taib here.
Taib, he's my favorite pleb of all. He's my favorite pleb of all.
So is that just is that a term of endearment, that name that he has given you?
Yes, it's just a term of endearment. He's a great bloke, that Taib. Don't worry, when the purge comes, I'll make sure he gets the meat grinder.
Nice. And one of our last people to join us, Russ has joined us with, I don't know what this is.
Well, Russ, unfortunately, he's suffering from dementia, and he thinks he's still in Ryan's chat.
Well, yes.
I feel a bit sorry, to be honest, but he needs a lobotomy.
Yes. This earlier slot doesn't work for me. You know what? You guys should move your time instead of like, what are you doing waiting? What are you waiting for? What's the waiting for? Just move it up. Let's go.
Do you remember that?
Tell you what, though,
the show started at 4:00 in the afternoon.
It started at 2:00. I mean, it wouldn't even be a football game on if it had been a normal Saturday. So Gary, you gotta shape up, mate. You gotta shape up.
Now I'm to blame for this, huh? I'm to blame for this. So Ryan has joined the show. Basically, Jonas tires Gary out. Yeah, Jonas. That women's team is disappointing. It's to me. You know what? Here you go. The men's English team, women's Arsenal team. They both have talented players, and they seem to be getting wasted by the coaching and the management that's going on there.
Who?
I think the Chelsea women's team are just simply better.
I think you didn't hear what I didn't even hear what you just said because it's been nixed from the audio. Any nonsense that comes out of your mouth, it just comes out like blah blah blah. So what did you? Don't even try to repeat it. But yeah, Arsenal women's team.
Because you didn't have the right socks.
That was absolute reprehensible behaviour there by the kit people. You've got one job. You're a kid. You're paid probably quite handsomely.
Yeah.
To just wash clothes, and you can't even fucking get the right socks.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Top, shorts, socks. That's it. 3 things, right?
God.
Do you not think it's a bit arrogant to assume that you are going to get away with that because you're Arsenal?
Why do they even have white socks in the first place? Are they allowed to wear white socks at all? It sounds like no, right?
Wouldn't it have been much easier for them to just change their socks? That's what I was reading. They could.
Oh, is that what it was? It was a conflict of the team's socks.
To be fair to Chelsea, why would they do that when they can inconvenience you by enforcing we're in the right kit?
But we had to. The thing was, technically, it was the right thing they had to do. I get that. It's because you have to follow protocol, blah blah blah. But the thing was, they could have just changed the color of their socks, easy, done within 5 minutes. And instead, what we had to do is because the color was similar, we had to go and get new socks. Then we had to we had to cover one of the logos, whoever the fuck it was. The whole thing just took far too long. What'd you say?
They had tape on their socks, didn't they?
They had to put tape on their
cover
socks.
the badge.
To make everything took so much longer than necessary. Whereas if all Chelsea had to do was just change their socks, basically, and it would have worked.
Ultimately, I think you should have. I don't know what the tape shit is about, but really,
there's something to do with the logo that couldn't be there for the color. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. It was on Twitter anyway.
You remember like the Olympics, right? Like when it was the U.S. team, the men's U.S. team basketball. It was like a Reeboks kit or what they were wearing, and like Jordan and all these other stars who were like Nike or Adidas, they couldn't show the logo, so they had a flag over it, right? It's some nonsense like that. So that's
Who is it? Who is the kid? It's not Vic Akers anymore, is it? It used to be Vic Akers, but I think Vic Akers is just the men's kit.
Yeah. Well, somebody made a mistake. Bad. Yeah. Very bad. Ray's going after me, Strengths, but it's just cut and paste. Yeah.
Well, you are a lazy bugger, Gary.
U.S. show where the core audience is in the UK. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But I have to do it for me as well. I can't. I don't want to upset my boss as well, right? You know that, Russ. So I'm not going to upset my boss by changing my time on my show that she doesn't even care about. But this is the best time for me. Brownie and Tony, the podcast historians.
Yes, well, with Brownie, we definitely get the football history. Everything before 1990, we get from Brownie in copious amounts.
Yes, and Tony gives us the well, not this season, but everything that happened the prior season that has nothing.
Oh, he's still going on about how we didn't sell Ainsley Maitland-Niles, isn't he? So I think he's come up to that part of history now.
Yes.
My favourite Tonyism is how he's still adamant that Arsenal will get rid of Saliba one day. And to me, the biggest thing of that is like, well, yeah, like logically, everyone leaves the football club eventually.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Gray's been associated with Leeds since the 1960s, but eventually he won't be associated with us. Eventually.
Yeah.
And it'd be like me going, oh, we'll get rid of him eventually. And then in 2028, I go, it might have took 78 years, but he's gone.
Yeah. Brownie with his back in the day segment, which is every segment. See, look,
Yeah.
now he's doubling down. He's
During
doubling
the-
down, Taib. Look
I
at his
was
double.
nonsense.
Uncle Albert during the war.
During the war.
Leave Tom alone, Sam. He's a passionate Leeds fan who loves his football. So there you go. Said, step off, man. Leave my
Step
Leeds,
off.
who were on a quick rise in early 90s.
Don't worry, Taib. I've got a special torture reserved for you when the purge comes.
Well, Lord Greenwood's my favorite Martian. Wow.
Yes, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment from the Asda dogging expert.
Yeah. Yeah, Russ might have a
Trying to
point
out
here.
you
The
as a
British
non-human.
invented time. You need to live by our rules again.
True. Well, we invented basically everything, didn't we? So, the
I
whole
like how
world.
we invented time, but we didn't make it all the same, which is a bit weird.
Well, because there's different places across the planet, isn't there? And
No, I get that part. What I mean is we invented time, but we still decided that, I've got to have 28 days in that month, 31 in that month.
well, yes, that's the Gregorians. But, we invented everything, and, the world has to be thankful to us for that, especially the Americans.
Yes.
We invented everything, but we made sure it got made in China or Taiwan.
Well, that happened later on, didn't it? When we gave everything up, unfortunately. But the Americans, they owe us so much. The Americans. I mean, if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be in America, would there? So,
Is it fair that we invented the Japanese that created PlayStation?
yes, basically you can say that we did. Yes.
The socks
Yes,
excuse,
really.
literally the worst excuse on the face of the earth. Yeah. There's an easy answer to the question, what do we do about our socks? Change your damn socks. All right.
You know what I think they should have done? They should have just worn no socks.
Okay, with just the shin
Deal
pads
with it.
stuck to their
Deal with
taped to the legs. Got it.
It
Yeah.
should be like a 90s PE lesson if you forget your kit and you just have to do it in your underwear.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Home team should always get kit choice, but wasn't Chelsea the home team?
hated PE back in the
Which they did because they enforced
middle
it.
school days.
Despite-
Yeah.
Remember middle school PE is always on a crap, wet, muddy pitch with no fucking equipment for anything. Oh God.
Did you not? Sorry, just I love how Ryan's just its natural instinct is to go. We didn't think we did anything wrong.
Well, no, that's Ryan, isn't it? You look, Ryan's Arsenal never does anything wrong. It's a conspiracy. It's the Illuminati.
Yeah.
All the goals were an agenda.
It's all an Arsenal agenda. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. And then, you know what? And back in the days, right? Back in the days, Brownie says he's seen an away team where the home team's second kit because of what? What nonsense is that?
No,
that
that is
happens.
true.
I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying what nonsense
thing.
is that?
Ryan follows it up with an example. It's a great example. It's actual. It happened. They wore the other team's away kit.
Oh man, wow.
I mean, to be fair, you can tell Ruud Gullit is Ruud Gullit in any kit. So
That is amazing. You've got one job as a kit man. Did they even have a kit man? Probably not after that.
It's like you have one job.
Can you imagine if the kit man was there and they're like, Gary,
It'd be like,
Gary, where's
Tony,
the kit, Gary?
And he's like looking at his pockets, like,
Oh,
And they
shit,
were
I didn't bring the kit with me. I didn't bring it with me.
You can imagine it because his name's obviously Tony, and he'd be like, Tony, where's the kit? And he'd be like,
back in the '60s when I brought the kit, you would
Right.
know where it was. Basically, it's saying nonsense.
is it my responsibility to bring the kit? Well, you are the kit man.
But I set it down by the
It's
bus.
at Fred's house and at Bill's house.
I normally just make the tea. So did I have
You
to bring
brought
the
the
kit as
kit
well?
last week, mate.
Oh, God.
Did I? I've been drunk since 1956.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
So what color? So white socks with the red top and shorts was bad because the officials can't tell that from whatever color Chelsea was wearing. Is that what the problem was?
They try to avoid the situation where he may get confused because of that.
What color socks did Chelsea have?
Chelsea wear white socks, don't they?
Oh, okay. I wasn't really paying that much attention to their socks.
I could be wrong. I'm sure they do. Well, they must have because you had ended up having to wear the blue socks, didn't you?
Yeah, If his name is Tony, he would be smoking I don't know what that is.
Bifter.
Bifta out the back. All right. Oh yeah, no, that this sounds like it just sounds silly that's the reason why that game was delayed for what, like 30 minutes or something like that.
Yep.
30-minute delay for a pair of socks, man. Stop.
So what I found interesting about the 30-minute delay is it took 30 minutes to retrieve and then put socks on.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, it should have been like an injury. Like, we need socks. Get us 30 socks and let's go. Come on. Charge it to the account and we'll move on. Let's go. Somebody's gonna lose their job for a pair of damn socks.
You know what they should have done, Brownie? Just give the player his kit and let him take it across Europe.
Well, that's the problem, right? Now you've got, like, whatever, 15 to 20 players. One of them is going to forget their kit. So instead of having one,
make him play in his underwear.
There you go.
Gary's defeated face. But there you go.
Yeah.
I did that with far too much enthusiasm. It's like, I can't be bothered to argue this.
You would drive a van across Europe for days.
Yeah, I didn't trust the airlines, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, they've already lost my $1 million in a rucksack enough times.
Keep trying to claim it. I never get it.
Yeah. My 100 diamonds. Yes.
Yeah, we don't.
The
kit man has to bring the balls.
Poor old kit man.
Yeah.
The balls.
But Russ, in my childhood, to be fair, my PE teacher used to impose the same rules on himself, and it turns out my PE teacher forgot his kit every week.
Russ, you exhibitionist, you. That's why you love being in the Asda car park, isn't it, every Friday night?
So, yeah.
Yes. So, kits. Yeah. Arsenal lost the match because of kits. Not because, one, they don't have a goalkeeper who can save anything. Two, they can't even put balls on target. Three, the manager has no answers. So, there you go.
Reprehensible, I tell you. It's reprehensible.
Lots of things going on there. So, quick update on the scores, if there are any scores going on. Today's been a light day for scoring.
There's a few Premier League games, isn't there, today?
Yeah, there should be games. So later on, in about 5 minutes, Burnley and Brentford will be playing, and Luton and Forest. Did you see that Luton match? Luton.
That's crazy. 3-0 up.
Yeah.
Deserve to be relegated for that alone.
But they've done that a few times this season, haven't they, Luton? They've been like 2-0 up and then still lose the game.
Yeah. Gotta play for 90, man. Gotta practice for 90, play for 90. All of that.
Damn straight, Gary. Damn straight.
Yes. What else we got? Oh, I haven't finished all the scores here. So let's see what else is going on. Mallorca is up 1-0 at home to Granada. Oh, that's full time. That has finished up. So Luton and Forest are sitting 17th and 18th, so this will be interesting. I think if Luton wins, they'll be tied on points, but I'm not sure about the goal difference. So interesting there. And Serie, Monza at home to Cagliari. You're up 1-0. Udinese is home, losing to Torino. They're down 1 there. In the Bundesliga, Heidenheim is losing at home to Mönchengladbach 1-0 or 0-1 there. No score in a Union Berlin-Bremen game. Mainz, Bochum also no score. Darmstadt-Bayern is 0-0. You know, this is what I was saying about Bayern. They had a good little run over the last 3 or 4 games, but they had a really poor run for like 5 matches before that. So you never know which Bayern Munich you're going to get. And as everybody knows, Arsenal will be playing them in about 3 or 4 weeks from now at home. And depending on which Bayern we get, it could go our way or not.
I think you're going to find Harry Kane's going to try and play himself into contention to play against Arsenal.
Yeah, he always does, but he's got a German top on now, so who knows if it works the same.
Harry Kane's gonna.
The British.
He's definitely gonna go. He's definitely gonna try and feign a penalty, isn't he? That bastard.
Yes. Last up, Wolfsburg is up 1-0 at home to Augsburg. No League One games at this point. Netherlands,
Brownie,
they are
you think
quiet.
his European teams are bad? You should wait to see him try and read the teams from League 1 and 2
Yes.
in England.
Yes.
It got proper LGBT last week with Transmere.
Transmere. Oh.
Let's see. I don't know if there's any. Let's see. Are there any British games going on today?
It's not much action today, I'm afraid.
Oh no, you got a full complement of games in League 1 and 2.
So, all right, so let's see. Let's go over there.
Letting us know those.
So there we go. So here we go. We are in the championship, as we know. Swansea wins 2-0 over Cardiff.
Swansea beat that disgusting, horrible club called Cardiff. They're disgusting.
Now, let's treat Cardiff with the respect they deserve.
Horrible, reprehensible club.
We do have there are a lot of games at the that will be starting up in a minute or so here. So we'll get into those scores as they come for in the championship. League One, there will be a lot of games as well. So we have a lot of scores coming up in a couple of minutes here. But yes, Wrexham and Tranmere will be playing today. So I'll try to say that correctly.
I like the pause when he said it. Like he was being extra careful.
Yeah.
Good old Gary.
Yes, and in the Women's Super League, Everton loses 1-2 home to Aston Villa. They take a red card. So, all right, here we go. In the National League, Oldham and Chesterfield played to a 2-2 draw. And a lot of other games starting up in a little bit. Oh, here we go. We do have an early score. They must have started a little bit early. Hartlepool, Southend United, 0-0 in the first minute. So there you go. Hartlepool, and that's the National League. So yeah, I can destroy any name. All right. But we'll get back to this.
Rovers.
So there was about a 2-minute timer on the Premier League matches, so they should be starting up soon. And we'll give you some scores on that. Yes. Oh man. Yeah, no, I go ahead.
I can't quite make out who Aberdeen are playing in the
Aberdeen. So let me check this out because you need to know how to say these words. Aberdeen. What country is that?
It's in Scotland, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna have to switch this from England to just pure football. Let's see. Here we go. Motherwell and Aberdeen 0-0 in the second minute of this match. So there you go. So I don't know if I said that right, but that's all I got.
Mr. Brownlee, it won't even be the biggest attendance in the last 5 years because Sunderland got 46,000 in the second tier, in the third tier, I believe, on Boxing Day. Because they did a whole Netflix episode around it of their documentary.
So Brownie does not have the best past history comments.
Well, that's not for me to say. I just know it's not true because of the fact that Sunderland have it.
Hello. Hey, you back now?
The Lord is.
How's your trip?
I don't know who he's talking to, but I just muted him, so you don't have to hear his. Who knows where that story is about to go? Tom tried to set me up, but I'm all right. All right. Yes.
So who are they playing against? Aberdeen. Sorry.
Motherwell.
Yeah, she's fine, thanks.
You love that joke, don't you?
Yeah, but I can't tell that. Yeah, but I still don't know who their manager is.
Oh, I would have to click the button to see an extra button to see. But I don't know what this is. But wait till Hamilton Academicals are playing. What the world is that? Actually a team?
Yep.
Wow.
In the lower tiers of Scotland.
Stefan, welcome to the show. Yes, you guys just need to have these names that are just gonna jumble and mumble. Let's see if he's still. He's quiet.
Yeah.
Lord is still.
Nice one.
He's talking to somebody else. So maybe he'll let us know when he wants to come back in. Yes. Yeah, so the Nottingham Forest matches starting. Is it Nottingham Forest? Yes. And yes. So they just show the Luton. When it seemed like Luton just played like yesterday, didn't it? Was it really like 2-3 days ago? This game looks like it's going to go back and forth. These teams are like going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Yes. Sam's calls are interesting. Let's see if what he's saying now.
Oh, what happened? Yeah. Right.
He might be saying something. That doesn't even sound like Lord Greenwood to me. Is he playing with us? Is that really Sam?
Did he get his cousin to answer the phone for him? Here we are.
Got any scores?
It's kickoff time. Goalless in the Premier League.
You know what?
Goalless in the Championship.
So which game should I put in the big window, Mr. Tom? Should I put the Luton?
I always manage to pick you a nice 0-0, don't I?
Luton or the Burnley match? Which one?
Oh,
Burnley?
Luton.
Put the Luton in the big window? All right.
Yes, that's going to be nice and desperation football.
All right, cool. And then we'll put...
it's actually not the end of your playoff hopes, Mr. Brownie.
Okay.
I mean, admittedly, it's not great for him, but absolutely not done.
What am I doing? I thought I was watching I thought they were going to put a game on here for me, but where are the games at? Sports. Here we go. Boom. All right. This is still a commercial. Oh, this is the commercial. So, all right. What is this? Brownie, not a good day for me. Today, Stefan, that's the end of Cardiff's playoff hopes. Possible penalty. They're looking for a foul in the Burnley Brentford match. I don't. Right now, whatever they're showing on the screen doesn't look like a foul. There's just 5 players standing around. Did you see there was the VAR decision in the FA Cup? Like clear, like they're looking for a handball. Of course, they could not see a handball, and it took them probably about 5 minutes watching the same video go back and forth. And it's like, dude, if it takes you more than 2 or 3 clicks and you still can't see it, guess what? It's not clear, it's not evident or obvious or whatever. Move on. Let the call go as it's supposed to go. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, I saw it, mate. Never good losing a derby, so condolences. But you did beat Ipswich, so there you go. Yep. They just had. Where's Cardiff? How far away are they from playing for something?
They are 6 points off the current live table. They are 6 points off the playoff places, but obviously Norwich are currently playing, so that may extend. But
Oh.
it's hard to say. I mean, personally, I don't think they are out of the playoff race, but it'd be disingenuous to say it looks good for them. I mean, I need Cardiff to feel like they have a lot to play for, because I need every team that ain't playing against Leeds to feel like they have something to play for.
Very true. Very true. Very, very true. So the upset picks are in, and Sam's going for a Burnley, and it looks like there's a penalty coming for. Who is this? Is it coming for Burnley? Sorry, he pointed to the spot, but I don't know what spot he pointed to. Looks like Burnley. Burnley is in the burgundy, right? Oh, a red card. Oh my. Somebody got a red card for Brentford. Reguilon looks like he's going to the showers. Yep, Reguilon is off. Red card, penalty. Brentford is down a man. And Tony is the captain today. I didn't know he played captain. Reguilon is gone. So there you go. So Brentford is down a man and could possibly down a goal. So voila, there you go. He's taking
Is that
a long.
Reguilon who used to play for Tottenham?
Yep.
Bloody hell.
Yep, he is off. I didn't see what they showed, but Burnley's about to take a penalty here. They didn't show, didn't see the video of what the red card was. Was it maybe a denial of attack or something like that, or not? But it's a red card and a penalty. So
Mr. Brownie, if Norwich win at Stoke, the gap will be 8, and you can still overturn that. I mean, to be fair, we are nearly on the cusp of overturning Leicester, which did not look possible.
Yes.
10 games ago.
Yeah, the goalie picked correct, but Brun Larson puts it past him anyways. And Burnley is up 1-0, and Vincent Kompany is yeah, he didn't even smile, but he's smiling on the inside. So there you go. Let's see if All Lord is
something pops up.
no, guys, that sounded a little not PG.
Gary always picking the wrong moment.
I did.
Bayern Munich have scored, but it was in response to Darmstadt scoring. So 1-1.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think Bayern Munich. We don't know which team you're going to get. They can get the really good team that won like 6-1 the other day, or you can get the team that lost to like Mainz, I think it was. So, yes, Burnley's on the run here. They're looking to get that second goal.
Thank you, Stefan. Leeds not playing for a week has helped me look younger as well.
Yes. Local rivals wrecking our playoff hopes. That's why I think that team's game is very dodgy for Arsenal run. Yeah, well, you know what? There's a lot of teams that are a little bit could be a banana skin, banana peel for Arsenal because they play Manchester United on the road. Of course, they play City on the road. Then they have the likes of like Wolves and other teams that they're going to have to play that can give them a game, as we've seen. So Arsenal,
He got the assist, Stefan.
yeah. Can't see that team beating VAR, to be honest.
VAR!
Arsenal. We do not get the
VAR,
calls.
Arsenal!
Yes. Yes. He looks so much younger without the beard. Little baby face assassin kind of thing. A little smile, like I just look at him. Yes, I did it. I did it. Let's see if the Lord has
Haven't really been going up to the hospital more than that every other day, really. But I managed.
That's a lot of mumbling. I didn't catch any of it. But anyway, so Sam's going with Burnley. He's happy that they're up 1-0. Myself and Tom are going for Fulham. So there you go. Because we want to see that team suffer today or this weekend. And that's how we are doing with our upset picks. Anything else going on in the world of Twitter? Xavi. We decided to let Antoine Griezmann leave just because of the financial situation. The club had to let him go. Griezmann is a player that I like a lot, but he left for that reason. There you go. Xavi, and he left to, I guess, Barcelona. Anything else going on in the world of sports? Arsenal has signed a 16-year-old centre back who plays for the U18s.
He'll never play for the Arsenal first team.
Braden Clark, is that what you mean?
Whoever he is.
Yes.
It's not worth our time. It's not about Leeds, so I don't care.
Well,
as Lord Greenwood would say.
Yes, this is a show run by a man who likes Arsenal, so we will talk about Arsenal, and you will just have to grit your teeth, bite your tongue, whatever it is, and just deal with it. Because it's going to happen.
I pay attention to football more than you all think I do.
No, I know you do. You just play like I don't care. You just play like
I have to watch it. I watch it at work. So it's everywhere.
There you go.
It's actually nice not being around it.
Yes. So Coventry scored in the 53rd minute, and then he proceeded to Wolves by the 88th minute had a 2-1 lead, and by the 100th minute, basically 10 minutes of extra time, it was 2-3. So you had lots of stuff going on in that match.
I've watched most of these Champions League matches, which is why I feel highly qualified in saying they're boring.
Mm-hmm. So yes. So Arsenal right now, they got City coming up on the 31st. Then they play Luton and Brighton, and then Bayern Munich, and then Villa, and then Bayern Munich, and then Wolves, and then Chelsea possibly. So yes, they have. Any of those teams can, as we know, can get one over on Arsenal because they've made it tough. All of them, every one of them. Even Villa. I think we need to redeem ourselves from the last time we played Villa. Wolves are a good team. Can't let and it's an away match. So there you go. So yes. Did Kane score?
Nope.
Okay.
Assist.
Tom, I know the stress does me well. Yes.
When Ipswich don't do well, you don't have people coming down on you like a ton of bricks. If anything, you get the opposite. You get the, oh, it's okay, Stefan. You'll get it next time. Oh.
Mr. Tom, I told you they love you. That's why they give you this stress. They love you. They like to see you squirm. Because you like to see people squirm.
When have I ever liked to see my friend squirm?
You say dirty things in front of me and then watch as I go, I didn't like that.
I don't take joy in your football team
You do-
failing, do I?
No. I didn't say. You see, now we're just talking football. I'm talking about in general because that's all I got.
Because you know I'm right.
Maybe about the football, you're right, but I'd say in general. That's why I go in general. See, it's a semantics thing. It's just some words.
But I'm good with semantics.
Yes. So let me see. Huh? Oh. Let's see what he's saying now.
In the
Oh,
final, I said.
apologies.
And I said, how amazing would that
Harry
be if we
Kane
played?
has scored.
We got through and we got to Barcelona in the final. How brilliant that would be. And you're like, oh yeah, that.
Now he's talking football, so there you go.
Harry Kane has scored. It's 2-1 to Bayern Munich.
Yes. I mean, you expect
In-
Harry Kane to score in pretty much any game he plays in Germany.
Yep. Well, any except important ones.
True.
He has a habit of disappearing in those.
True.
Like, do you remember his Champions League final goal? Oh no, wait, no, that's because that
Nobody
would mean he had to
remembers
show
that.
up for
Yeah,
important
I
games.
still find that ridiculous. I get, like, yes, we need to have our talisman back. Are you kidding me?
I
Are
got
you
why
kidding
they
me?
played him. No, I 100% got why they fielded him, because it's like say you get to the Champions League final and Declan Rice isn't 100%, and you don't play him and you don't win. It'll be, oh, you should have risked Declan Rice. Whereas at least if you do risk your best player, obviously him being your best player is subjective, but for this example, let's just say he's your most expensive player and
right.
he's your best player.
You're right. If Jorginho gets you into the championship final because Rice can't play and Rice is healthy now, what do you do? Right? What do you do? It just was one of those things where he had been out for so long. It isn't even that he even played prior to it, right? I don't even know if he had played prior to it. Like he had a run in of some games and some minutes that you can look at and go on tape and say, guess what? He's ready to play in this final, right? Not only that, but you've been on such a run and you're a team that I think at that point it looked like, you know what? Let's not break. You know, they say don't mess up a good thing, all right? It's one of those things. I mean, the team is doing well.
Ipswich have scored.
Why screw this up? And for those in Spain in La Liga, Real Madrid is up 1-0 at Osasuna. Sorry. So yes. And over here in Serie A, Monza is up 1-0 on Cagliari in the 59th minute, and Udinese is home to Torino. They are down 0-2 there in the Bundesliga.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, sir. We were trying not to listen in on your call, but
I pressed the wrong fucking button, didn't I?
so we kept popping in and out just to see if you would say anything, and you actually did say at one point popping out. I don't know where you were going with that. So I was like, all right, I got to go. He's getting dirty with his talk.
Oh my God.
Yes, we had a people would ask, what is the Lord or Sam talking about? It sounded like Sam took over your call. I don't know if that's.
I think he probably did actually. I thought I hit the mute button, but I hadn't. I muted the sound from the tab, but not from the actual microphone.
Yes.
So that was a bit of a mistake there from me, but you know, that was what can happen in the life of a great lord. When are Leeds playing, Tom?
Tomorrow lunchtime, I believe.
You playing who?
Millwall.
Oh, I hate Millwall. I hope you absolutely destroy them.
Put it this way: Leeds versus Millwall has its own Wikipedia page.
Sounds about right.
Is it about like red cards and fights and red cards and fights and
violence, glorious violence?
It basically says for like the first 80 years of the club's existence, they played 8 times, And then from like 2004 onwards, we played like 30 times.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Millwall was just a horrible club.
Stefan was not impressed with your language.
Oh, really, Stefan? Just wait till the purge comes, Stefan. I've got something lined up for you, buddy.
Look at Stefan with his absolute desperate delusion. Millwall could be up for that match. They're up for any match against us, like most teams are, because they fucking hate us. So why wouldn't they be? It would have been a lot cooler if they actually were half up for playing against Ipswich. That would have been a lot cooler.
That's another one of Tom's great theories, is that teams, they don't play against any other team apart from all other teams they play, they just bend over and die.
And Brownie's going after Mr. Tom, I assume, with this comment.
Mill.
This is love, Mr. Tom.
You're all pricks.
It's called love, Mr. Tom.
No,
I told you. It's love. It's a love. It's football love.
You're all pricks.
See, look, you're just a good friend.
Love. Now, Millwall they've always had a very poor reputation, Millwall, of being thugs and heathens and disgusting, reprehensible human beings.
Look at this.
Which they are.
Who sings this song, Mr. Tom?
I think that's a Millwall song.
No one likes Cardiff either. They're a bunch of bloody thugs.
They're thugs with a different accent.
They're thugs who shag sheep.
Oof.
I'm doing the because he said it, not because it's not true.
Oh, did he say that?
Oh, man. All right. Oh, Burnley. You don't run into the... Could have had a...
What's the score? What's the Burnley score?
It's 1-0 Burnley. They're up a man.
Brentford are absolutely shit at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, Rugalon committed a red card offense somehow. I didn't see what it was, but
that shouldn't be in the Premier League
it was
either.
A card plus a penalty. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it was on the same player or what, but
reprehensible stuff.
Yes. And in the other match, was it Luton and Nottingham Forest? It just seemed to be going back and forth here. So Ipswich beating Millwall in 78. They didn't like it.
$1978. My God, that was a glorious year. I took Lulu up the bum.
I don't even want to. No, let's just move on from that one.
Kim Wilde, my God, I gave her a nice shag.
Yes.
Stefan tried to take her from me, but I had to take her from Stefan. I said, Stefan, you stand aside. This is for the Lord. This is the Lord's business.
Oh, my gosh. Burnley almost scored on himself. It was a back pass to the goalkeeper. It just happened to be to the open goal.
Trust them to do that. They would do that, wouldn't they?
It was just kick it to the goalkeeper. No, I will kick it to the open spot. And the goalkeeper's he's on the far post. He's on the near post. He kicks it to the far post. He's able to get. Oh, that ball is almost crossing the line. That's how close it was. Goalkeeper gets there just in time. Oh my! That was right on the. That was about to cross. That was on the line when he cleared it. Burnley tried to score on themselves. Very nice. Let's see what we get. I don't know what
same classic joke as always. Brownie's been using this joke since he was 10 years old.
Oh. Is that what he got in his cereal bowl? Was that the in his Chinese fortune cookie? That's what was in it.
Fortune cookie.
That's what was in it. That was the comment that was in it. Is that how he rolls, where he lives? Miss Melina, welcome to the show.
Hello,
It's the road trip where we go where many shows don't go.
We go boldly where no show has gone before.
Yes.
Oh look, Norwich have scored.
Oh, is that good or bad?
I don't care. It's a thing that happened.
Tom doesn't give a shit about anything but Leeds, you see.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yes.
It
And
might
Brownie,
be my chair. It
Oh.
might be. It's a squeaky chair.
Oh.
I'd happily, like for example,
I can't hear anything. I just see you like doing a little thing.
I was just doing the noise. I'd happily admit if I was farting. I remember the time when Alonso farted, and we all knew it. He obviously farted, and we were all like, just like, what's that noise?
Nobody wanted to claim it.
I'd have claimed it if it was me.
We're all kind of like looking like, come on, dude, just take it, man. He did it live on the show. Come on.
Because he was the only one pulling the face of like, I'm not claiming this.
Alonso
And you all
nice
know
making
what
noises.
I'm talking about. You all know what I'm describing. We all sat there like, come, dude, just fucking admit you farted, and we'll move on.
Oh no. That's Sam speaking, says Stefan. Oh, they're going after you, Lord.
Reprehend
There's no
behavior.
loyalty in this show, I tell you. Everyone
Well,
would just
Stefan
turn
knows the
on each
purge is
other.
coming.
Yeah,
The purge is coming with extra salt.
there you go. So who smelt it? Wasn't it?
Brownie spelled
I'm
it.
saying
Brownie.
it smelt it, dealt it, right? That's the
Well,
rule,
with a
isn't it?
name like Brownie, I mean, come on. Just,
Yeah, and he's got his own crypto called shitcoins.
If you say the IE a different way, like his name could technically be Brown Eye.
Brown eye.
You know what? Whatever you do when you're not on the screen is, that's your thing. Oh yeah. I don't even want to. Let's move on from that one. Football with Brown Eye.
Football
And,
with brown eye.
because Brownie tried to expose me as the Phantom Fighter, Norwich have scored again.
Oh no. See what happens when you go after Mr. Tom? The football guys are listening. Oh
Was
man,
it
that
Norwich
ball,
against Ipswich?
they're just showing that ball was on the line before the goalkeeper
Stoke
cleared it.
versus Norwich, sir.
Yeah.
And Tony tries to nutmegs a player, but the ball comes off the goalkeeper's leg.
Brown eye go.
Oh man,
Hey, where did you go?
yeah, Steph.
Look to the toilet, clearly.
You, my brown eye girl. I'm Vince McMahon and I shit on your face.
Oh yeah. See, this is where we go sometimes, folks. This is where we go. No score in the.
Tom's too into his gaydar account.
That's exactly what I'm into.
He's looking for a little Puerto Rican guy down in Soho.
Okay.
Look at Stefan being all I'm gonna say come on Stoke, even though he was cheering Norwich on against Leeds. But he hates Norwich so much that he cheered his most hated rival against Leeds. So leave off with the fake come on Stoke, because we both know that they're only a rival when it suits you.
Yes.
You'll know I'm right.
You're right, Mr. Tom. I say you're right. What's going on in the Motherwell is losing at home to Aberdeen.
I remember everything.
St. Marinette is
Which
winning
suits me.
1-0 at Kilmarnock. Bavarian is up 3-0 at home to Livingston. Celtic and St. Johnstone 0-0. Ross County and Hearts 0-0. All in the 30th minute of the match. And Nico Williams gets pushed in the back on a heading attack, and nothing is given because it never is. So here we go.
I'm gonna go full Rafa Benitez. Fact.
Oh.
It is fact.
Hmm.
Facts. I can't remember what he was saying with facts, but I remember the interview. Anyway. Sorry,
Yeah.
Gary. Please continue.
Got a free kick for is it Nottingham Forest? No, yeah, Nottingham Forest, right outside
I
the
did
box
break
there.
the NBA scoring record on NBA 2K24.
There you go.
Just saying. In one game, 101 points.
101 points. Who scored?
Me.
You, Mr. Tom, is a character in NBA, whatever
Well,
it
yeah.
is.
And I made him the smallest possible character to full authenticity.
Did he dribble between legs and all that kind of stuff?
No, I'm a massive 3-point merchant.
So
I ain't done. Put it this way: my character is so small in the game that I can't even build, and I have no dunking stats to actually build. I can't reach the rim.
So Mr. Tom crosses the half court line. The half court line. He's pulling up, right?
Yeah, no
But
one
since
can
he can't
accuse
dunk.
me of being a rimmer.
Since he can't dunk, he likes to go and ask for rim jobs instead.
Gibbs White goes row. I'm gonna go row C.
I'll
with
actually
that-
try and
with
get a
that free
photo
kick.
of it.
Yes.
But when they do all the cutscenes and I'm stood next to Jason Tatum or something like that, it's absurd. I'm Boston Celtics, by the way.
Yes. So we're like 33 minutes into the Burnley match. Brentford looks like they can score at any time because they have Tony, but Burnley is in the attacking third here, and the numbers. Oh, ball comes in. A deflection. Does he put a foot on it? He does. Another block, and it heads it. A nice easy header to the goalkeeper there on the Burnley side. So Brun Larson, the goal scorer, and it looks like we have a goal. Is that? Oh no goal in the Luton match. So
Real
it was
Madrid
cleared
have
off the
got just
line.
gone 2-1 up for anyone who cares.
Yes. Oh, that's what it was. It was a Luton. The ball gets past the goalkeeper. The defender's there to basically clear it before he gets anywhere near the line. So there you go. There you go. Oh man. What else is going on, people? Lord, go ahead.
Tranmere have scored at Wrexham.
Tranmere, yes.
Did the tranny score?
They did.
Wow.
Oh, we've got a goal coming up. We have a goal coming up, but Luton has the ball right now. The ball is taken away. Oh, got a free kick coming deep. They try to go fast, and it's not allowed. And there we go. Free kick for Nottingham Forest. Oh, you guys with that.
Tranmere have scored at Hollywood FC.
Wow. What a result. Well, not a result, but what a score update.
Yes.
Would you like to ask me a question, Pleb?
Sorry, sir. Go on.
No, I was talking to Gary. I think Gary can ask me a question, but ball
comes in. Oh, very nice play there from Nottingham Forest, and nice little volley there from Chris Wood, right in front of the goalkeeper. The cross comes in, the goalkeeper is stuck in the spot, and he just a little volley right behind the goalkeeper.
Chris
And Nottingham
Wood
Forest
had a
takes the lead.
league. He had a league goal ratio for Leeds of 1-2.
Very good.
Which
He
is
just
not
scores
bad.
here for Nottingham Forest. Very easy build up for them. Luton basically were just chasing shadows. Nice little loft there into the center of the goal area, and a nice little volley there from Chris Wood. Whoop, back where the goalkeeper came. And is that Nico Williams? Gets the one cross, and then Gibbs continues it and chips it up in the air, and Wood splits the defenders and then volleys back against the goalkeeper. Easy peasy. And there we go. We've got goals in both Premier League matches, folks. And, as you said, Real Madrid is up 2-1. Who has scored for them? Let's see. Carvajal has scored the second goal, and Vinicius Jr. started things off in the 4th minute. Also scoring in that 7 minutes. He had a 7-minute score by Windemir for who are they playing? Osasuna. So there you go. You said Harry Kane has scored today, yes?
He did on 45 plus 1, I believe. Goal and
So
assist.
anybody? So basically, right now they are 7 points back and Leverkusen has a game in hand. Any chance you think Bayern Munich catches them?
Yeah, I am very confident of that because it's Bayern Munich. It won't necessarily be deserved or the just outcome in football in terms, but it's Bayern Munich. So there's every chance they'll overturn this because Leverkusen have not lost yet. So I don't think it's unreasonable to suggest we don't know how they will react if they do get beaten.
Yeah, they came close to losing right earlier in the like this week, I think was it Europa League they're in? So they were losing 1-0 and came back to win it late.
They've got to play West Ham as well.
Oh, is that right?
In
West
the
Ham.
Europa League.
West Ham did some damage in that last game that they played. So
yeah, in the last couple of years, West Ham are built like Arnie in Europe for some reason. I mean, mainly because they're not playing anyone of any real quality, but
cool.
I try and give credit where it's due, but not for West Ham. Actually, I don't give anyone credit where it's due. I'm pretty.
That's true, Tom. We've definitely gathered that. Tom doesn't like anything but Leeds.
That's what he says.
I mean, to be fair, oh wait, one more.
To be fair, what's coming up?
I literally have a cup that says it.
Yes.
True. True.
So I don't know what you're expecting of me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll stay on till the game's end, Gary.
All right, cool. So with that, folks, I will be signing off, giving the keys to the little one, the wee one.
Come on,
yes,
Gary, that's not necessary.
I didn't mean to say that. Did I say it? Oh, did I say it out loud? I was thinking it. I'm sorry. Sometimes the filter on my brain doesn't work, and this comes out.
Yes, embrace it. Embrace it.
Mr. Tom will be taking you here and out for the rest of the matches. Right now, the score is 1-0. Burnley. Brentford is down a man. Luton is losing at home to Nottingham Forest, but they're at home, so maybe they get a chance to. They need to redeem themselves from the last
Ipswich have
match.
scored again, because of course they have.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, folks, I'm going to head out, Mr. Tom. Thank you. Lord Greenwood.
Beat you to it, Stefan. Don't count.
Lord Greenwood, it's been a pleasure.
Nice to see you again, Gary. Enjoy your day.
Definitely. It is. You know what? There's a St. Patty's Day party, so I will be partaking in that later this evening.
Oh, great.
So, I
You're
guess
going to a party?
Yes. I don't usually do that stuff, but yes.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. So.
Everyone pretends to be Irish when they're not.
I'm just going for the beer and the food. Is that all right?
You just swing a potato sack at someone.
Oh, is that what you do?
That's what you should do.
All right. If I see a potato sack, I'm swinging it.
Do you? For each potato, you have a tequila.
Is that? Yes.
Swing it at an Ipswich fan.
I don't know if there's any Ipswich fans over anywhere outside of wherever Stefan lives.
Good luck finding an Ipswich fan in America.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. I don't even know. Next week will be truly the interlull. There will be nothing going on league-wise.
Oh no, he's going to bring back the title with the interlulls.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
The only time I ever know that word exists.
Yes, it's the only time you can use it. But anyways, see you guys later. Thank you, Mr.
Bye,
Tom.
Gary. Enjoy yourself.
Up shop, and see you, Lord Greenwood. And
Bye-bye.
tell Sam we miss him.
I will.
And we'll see him whenever we see him, whenever he's allowed to partake.
Well, he's in a dungeon at the moment.
Well, there you go.
Only East Anglian teams have scored in the 3 o'clock games in the championship.
Yep. All right. See you.
Nah.
And then there were 2.
Not true. It's literally not true. Delusion.
Well, that's it. Now we can take over, can't we?
Yeah, it's a hostile take. Actually, it's not that hostile, is it? Because he literally gave us the keys.
No, it's a very easy and elegant takeover.
It's very polite. It's a polite takeover. Exactly right.
Yes. There are air bases in Suffolk. There are the Stefan. Oh no, they're not American per se. They are British, but the Americans do have part of them. They do have use of them.
I think he just jumps on that as if to go, oh yeah, we've got loads of fans in America. It's like, yeah, but they're still in Suffolk.
Right, gotcha.
Like, they just go outside and they're still in Suffolk. Like, but still.
Gary
had to go to a party.
Get prepared for his party, the St. Patrick's Day party.
It's a party. Yes. Yes, exactly. So, that being said, oh man, I'm going to do a quick turnaround. I hate when Leeds play on a Sunday. Because then I have to actually prepare something. So there's like 50 clubs out of 92.
There's loads of American owners now, aren't there? They're all over the gaff. You have to wonder what they're trying to do, though. I mean, do they think they can make money out of many of these clubs? I mean, some of the clubs are so small. How are they going to generate proper money?
It's all to get into that Premier League, because then they don't realise you've then got to spend money to stay there.
Who has he put money? Was it JJ Watts? Who did he put money into?
Let's have a look.
JJ Watts, big American football star.
Yeah.
He's retired now, but he was.
Burnley.
I mean, he's put money into Burnley, for fuck's sake.
But Tom Brady put money into Birmingham.
Right.
I remember because the first game that they played when they invested was unfortunately against my team, and they won 1-0. And you'd have thought the coverage of it was like they'd been promoted, sort of thing. I'm not doing celebration police here. I mean the fact that like ITV, like the Football League highlights and all that, made it all about that.
Of course,
and
I've exaggerated it a lot, haven't they?
Exactly, but I noticed how they've gone a lot quieter on his involvement with Birmingham since Birmingham might actually get relegated.
Yes. It's like a weird investment to make. It's just like, just because you put a little bit of money in, it doesn't mean they're going to get fucking promoted. It's, there's a long, difficult process.
I think they thought though that like they would go. It's like, what they go ride the wave of Tom Brady being there. Like he probably ain't even been there since that day, like physically.
He probably didn't put that much money in either, did he? Probably put a little bit in, but not a huge amount.
Like again, not to go on about my own team, but we're basically a consortium where like actors and sports players have like invested small amounts.
Yeah,
and like I don't know how that will actually work out long term, but I suppose
there's probably like I can think there's probably like if you look at how these shares are divided, you'll probably have like a pot of shares. Say, for example, I'm just talking theoretically now, of course, but say you'll have, for example, maybe 20 or 30% of the club that is within one type of consortium, and that consortium is made out of all the different, sports and other personalities. So they all share a part of that 20 or 30%.
That makes sense.
I think that's how it works.
Because Russell Crowe was asked on Twitter, someone invested in a club. I'll try and find it now. Do excuse me. Basically, he was asked. Yeah, I found it. He was asked if he was going to invest in Leicester City.
Yeah.
He was basically asked if he was going to buy Leicester. To which he went, he has no interest in buying Leicester because he's already invested in Leeds.
Right.
As part of this consortium, which is basically filled with like NBA players, NHL players.
It's a good way for when you have like a consortium like that owns part of a club. It's a good way for those sports personalities and that to put their money into a club without having to sort of worry about all the different intricacies and everything. They just put their money in. It's probably like a bank. It's probably like, this is what it's worth now, and if you wait 10 years, if this and this happens in 10 years, it's going to be worth like 5 times more or something like that.
I think the thing with sport though is that, or football specifically, more than because obviously in America, any like sporting investment is generally going to make money because of the way it's set up. Like no one can get relegated, things like this.
Yeah, America's very different.
Yeah, it's completely different. Like I hope these gentlemen have not been told that they will make a profit on their investment on Leeds, because it won't be the same.
No, no one. I don't think anyone's guaranteed a profit at all. You're always told that, when you're putting money into shares, basically, it's you can lose as well as you can win. It's just the way it is. But yeah, it's like you're saying, I think it's easier to make money out of American franchises than it is, the European ones or the English ones, because the English ones, there's so much fluctuation in terms of, you have relegation, and it's so difficult to get promoted. I mean, look at the competition for promotion all the way down to League Two. I mean, it's incredible.
I think a lot of American investors, if they actually saw how competitive it is in England, I think they'd be more reluctant.
Probably, yes, probably. I think they get sold on a brand, don't they? It's like Leeds United have already got these people involved. He's involved. So it's always that. Oh, if he's involved, then I want to be involved. It's that, like you see the whole Wrexham effect now and everything, isn't it? I think Wrexham has brought a lot more people on board as well, just because of what happened with Wrexham. They're not thinking, Well, Wrexham, a very different situation, very different club. You know, it's not the same at all. But I think they sort of just get sold and sucked in by that sort of romantic scenario.
What's interesting now is now Ipswich have gone 3-0 up, is that if Leeds were to win tomorrow by 2 goals, Leicester will actually sit in third for the entire international break. Which I would find massively concerning for them.
Yes.
Even with the game in hand.
Yes. No, it's like we were saying, you know, there's just so much fluctuance, isn't there, in everything.
Not that I'm bothered about the 2-goal swing or whatever, because I just want to win. If we win 1-0 or 3-2 or whatever, then fine.
Of course, just win's a win, isn't it? I don't know how much goal difference is going to
1 goal.
stay.
The goal difference between Leeds and Leicester is 1 goal currently.
Right, so goal difference is always a good thing to be aware of, isn't it? But I suppose the most important thing, of course, at the end of the day is, of course, it's points, isn't it?
I mean, the way it's looking is like the 4-0 win against Ipswich is actually probably more key than people would have assumed it had been, because we're including the 3 goals Ipswich have scored today. Obviously, that's an 8. We're 12 goals better off, or 12 goals better off than Ipswich currently. So obviously, that's an 8-goal swing we had on them.
But you have to be careful of goal difference, because I do believe if say for example, second and third place, say for example, say Ipswich and Leeds are both joint second on the same points, but it's going to be goal difference then that separates the two of you, isn't it? So, you know, if you need to have a superior, better goal difference to take that second spot.
Well, we're currently 12 goals better off than Ipswich.
Yeah, if you are, that's great. Then if you're on the league, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a nice buffer to have.
I mean, obviously that's without us playing tomorrow. Like, hopefully we'll be into that as well. But I don't even know what the goal difference was at the start of January when we were 17 points behind Leicester. But we're vetting into their point difference and their goal difference.
Yeah, that's very good. And goal difference, I think goal difference is actually very important when it comes to like the Championship and League One and League Two, because you're gonna be in a situation, most likely in a situation where you are on the same points as maybe 1, 2, or maybe 3 other clubs, and then of course the goal difference is going to be the key factor.
I mean, personally, I think it'll be quite funny if Ipswich end up playing Norwich in the playoffs.
I don't think it's going to be so much of a factor in the Championship. I was just making a point, but you know, like more in like League One and League Two, where you probably will have 2 or 3 teams ending on the same points. That's where goal difference is going to, you know, is definitely going to be a big factor.
Yeah, because well, for example, in the in League One, second. Well, yes, Stefan, your team you're defending is like you are a bottom half team, with respect to you. But for some reason, you just outscore other teams.
They're like Jekyll and Hyde, really, aren't they?
Yeah, which I have my opinions on. I find it interesting also that Leicester, Ipswich, they have the fouling record of a team that are at the bottom.
Yeah,
but have no red cards. So they're also the referee's friend, clearly.
but Tom, to be devil's advocate, not all fouls are the same, are they?
No, but a lot of theirs are.
Have you seen every foul they've committed?
I have. I've seen every single foul they've ever.
But you don't watch anyone else, do you? But Leeds.
No, I watch everyone that has I've vested interest in.
Wow. So you've seen every single Ipswich foul they've committed, and you can wholeheartedly say that they should have had several red cards.
Sam Morsey should have been sent off in multiple matches, but wasn't.
Right.
I do genuinely feel like I don't know how to word it. I feel like they no longer. I forget it. It's gone out of my head. So about Suffolk Radio.
It's going to be
close,
isn't it?
Tell what I was going to say. 2nd to 5th in League One are separated by 5 points.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And in League Two, first to 4th is 5 point gap.
Wow. That's pretty close, isn't it?
But then 7th, which is a playoff spot in League Two, 7th to 13th. Sorry, 7th to 7th to 16th is separated by 8 points.
Oh, okay, it's a bit more, but still doable with
but you win every game for a week, you'd be right in the mix.
Yeah, that's amazing how competitive those leagues are. It's great, much more exciting results wise.
Watford have scored, West Brom have scored. Preston have scored at Plymouth, so goals started to rain in towards the end of the first half.
Let's see how they.
I suppose it's my club and it's my anxiety over my own team that I just feel like it feels destined that Ipswich are going to get there.
Right.
Despite every statistic other than the important one suggesting they shouldn't.
Gotcha.
And I've seen Arsenal fans say much more delusional shit than I say over Ipswich.
Oh. Oh my God. There's so many Arsenal fans that are just absolutely brain dead. I can give you that one for sure. We have some of them in a row. Unfortunately, we have some of them who creep into our chat here now and again.
Not naming no names, of course.
No.
Saying that, where is Russ?
Russ is.
But
let's see, League 2 half time.
Let's see how Wrexham are getting on.
They're 1-0 down at half time to the Trannies.
Yeah. Transmere. I bet Transmere have won every game since Gary outed them.
Plymouth are 1-0 down to Plymouth are 1-0 down at home to Preston. Championship.
Transmere are they're the team I was talking about. They're 8 points off the playoffs. They can get there. Oh, Russ is here. I think
he's woken up now, Russ. He's woken up. It's good. Got his attention. Bradford 4-0 down at half time against Mansfield. That's a terrible result. I mean, it's not a result, but just a half time 4-0 down. My God. At home against Mansfield.
Mansfield have scored goals and over fists, to be fair to them. They won 9-2 the other week.
Bloody hell.
Like, for example, I have a look. Their goals scored. They've scored 77 goals. And the team that's in second have scored 69.
No, not too. 77 is still a lot, but yeah, still not that much of a difference, though, is there?
No, but I'm guessing that's a more recent thing that they've over.
Yeah, they've probably scored a lot of those goals recently.
because it does feel like since the 9-2 that I've noticed like, oh, they've scored 5 here, 4 here, like you said, 4-0 up at half time.
Yeah, they're 4-0 up away at Bradford at half time. I'm thinking those Bradford fans are probably gone already.
Yeah, probably got dates with their sisters.
But mind you, though, the impression I get is that the lower league fan, lower league as in below the Premier League, that they are more loyal to staying for a game, even though it's 3-4-0 down at half time, they're not going to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, like we joke about them leaving, but they're probably not. I mean, I don't mean to sound disrespectful to them when I say this, but sort of a lot of teams, you're down there for a reason, so you're probably used to taking a sort of poor result here and there.
Yeah.
And I say that as a Leeds fan who saw my team got routinely thrashed last season, or for the last 2 years. So I've been there, but generally speaking, you're always going to be open to. There's a reason, like you're in League Two and you're not in the Championship to some degree. And I know a lot of it is like the money and stuff like this, but also the defending that then comes from you get what you pay for the most part, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that's not as simple as that, obviously, because teams can have loads of money and can waste it. Oh, hi, Chelsea.
I don't think there's a team that's wasted more money than them.
Nah,
really.
And got nothing for it.
I mean, I know there's been times when, like, Manchester United wasted a lot of money. They went through a period where they just bought loads of shit. So some of the big clubs were like Real Madrid. I remember went through a couple of periods where they were just buying loads and loads of players, just hand over fist, big transfer fees, and none of them really did very well. But yeah, it's all right when you got the money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as uncommon as people think it is, but at the same time, no one's ever spent the money that they specifically spent.
No, of course, Chelsea, that period under Abramovich when he first came in, I'll never forget it. It was so sickening because he basically spent 400 or 500 million, and you got to remember back then that money was worth a lot. I mean, today it's like 5 times.
It went
more.
A lot further.
Today it's like what? Today it's like worth like probably like 3, 4, 5 times more. We're talking like 2005. Abramovich goes in and he's like, okay, we're going to buy a whole new team, whole new squad. Going to bring in Mourinho, and they go and spend 400 or 500 million pounds on a new squad. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, that's more than what most football clubs cost in their entirety.
And they bought Wayne Bridge.
Oh, they paid 30 million for him, didn't they? I mean, they were just buying players just for the sake of just buying them. It's like, oh, how much can we pay for fucking?
No,
how much can we pay for fucking? What's his name?
Sean Wright Phillips.
Yeah, there's another one they bought for a ridiculous amount of money, like 20-odd million they paid for him.
I remember they bought Adrian Mutu for about.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How much money can we spend on Adrian Mutu? He's got half of a name from Italy. Let's buy for 40 million.
His name must be Romanian for coke addict.
He was a complete nut job, wasn't he? Complete nut job.
Like they sacked him. Like think of things footballers do these days, like borderline unprofessional. Like they've not even Mason Greenwood's not even been sacked by Manchester United because they feel like there's still money they can get for him. Yeah. Whereas Mutu, Chelsea were literally like, get out of our club, you dirty coke fiend.
Yep, and then you got another one who did the same thing, even though he wasn't a big profile, but he was so into his cocaine, he basically got sacked. That was Mark Brosnich.
Yeah.
Remember Brosnich?
Oh, I do.
He was a Villa keeper, but then he went to Chelsea, and at Chelsea all he did was fucking sniff cocaine, probably with Mutu.
he was a regular on the News of the World pages. Let's just say.
Yeah. Fucking hell, he got
I'll
the sack
say,
as well.
Yeah. You know who else got the sack? About 3 months ago.
Who?
Father Christmas.
He emptied it.
All over the chip. No, wait, nope.
He emptied it once a year, as he does.
Yep.
All over.
Which probably explains why it's so bulbous. Anyway,
It's got, you know, it's why has he got such a big sack? Because he only empties it once a year. The poor bastard. That Coventry game was wild today. That was wild.
Wolves score like 2 goals in 5 minutes.
Coventry away at Wolves. Wolves were 2-1 up, going into injury time, and then Coventry score 2 in injury time, including the over the end of the injury time.
It's truly. Oh, hang on. Bayern Munich have now gone goal crazy. They've got 4 goals now. Bayern Munich
Against who?
Darmstadt.
Oh,
they were losing. To be fair,
I mean, the German league is pretty poor. You got 6, 7, 8 decent teams, and the rest are pretty poor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with Russ. They bought Salah and De Bruyne. Didn't use them.
Yeah, they were quite young then, and not quite what they developed into later on. But it's
But
true.
everyone said they would be.
No, I'm just saying it's true that they didn't have them and they didn't use them. They didn't use them, so they just sold them on, and you see what they lost.
No, but it weren't like they didn't show that they didn't. It weren't like they didn't have the potential. Like everyone said, these 2 players are going to be special players if you use them,
and they didn't.
And they
use
didn't. But when you mentioned, I think I said Wayne Bridge and Sean White, and we went on about the Coke thing with Muto, so that explains why I got off this. But my thinking was, has a club ever squandered more footballing talent than Chelsea? Like they were hoarding them just so other clubs couldn't have them.
Exactly.
They're rivals, basically.
Oh, exactly. They've been the worst, in my opinion. They've been the worst team in England by far with their transfer policy or lack thereof.
I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to go and use the toilet. I'll only be a minute, Mr. Sam.
Yes, no worries.
Excuse me. Sorry. But Stefan's got opinions on Chavsky fans.
Yeah. No, they've got no sense of history. This is what annoys me with Chelsea fans is they're so cocky, like you say. They're so fucking cocky. But Chelsea, they don't really have a proper history since Abramovich took over, basically. That's their history. Their history is basically from 2005. It's ridiculous. They go around and cocky, they won this, they won that. Yeah, they won a lot the last, 18, 19 years because they had more money than anyone else until Manchester City had their takeover and other teams have come along with more investment. But yeah, no, it's just been a joke. And what Abramovich did before FFP kicked in and before Manchester City got their latest owners, their the Qatari owners. It's just Abramovich was just doing what he wanted, but buying a new squad every couple of years. It was ridiculous. They had so many players, they didn't even know what to do with them. They had like a 50-man squad. And they could register 26 of them for the Premier League. They had 20 guys on fucking 80k a week that they couldn't even fucking use. Oh, it's ridiculous. Chelsea just being the worst club ever run in terms of operations, transfer policy. And you got their fucking cocky fans who are like, oh, Chelsea this, Chelsea that. Oh, yeah, what did Chelsea do before 2005? Oh, they won the league in 1955 or whatever it was. Oh, great, okay. Well done. 1955 on TV was still black and white. Chelsea, fucking Stamford Bridge was a fucking parking lot in the 80s. Fucking a third of it was rented out for council parking. Ken Bates took over the club. Ran it not very well. In desperation, he needed to sell it for £1. He even fucking sold it for £1 in fucking, was it 1980 something? Fucking hell. Chelsea, what an absolute disgusting, fucking reprehensible, bloody lot of fucking twats in that club, honestly. Yeah, Ross has mentioned Shevchenko, Crespo, Kesman, Lukaku, Morata, Werner, Torre. I mean, look at them all. Look at the money they've spent on that lot. The money they've spent on players. Fucking hell. Just absolute jokes. They went through managers like fucking worn underwear. They're changing managers all the time. It's like, oh, you haven't won the Premier League in your first attempt. Sorry, we're gonna have to sack you.
He was Brownie. He did play for Basel. That's where they unearthed him from, I believe.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I mean, he was a tidy.
Chelsea sold him to Roma, didn't they?
He was a tidy talent, but you look at all the players as Russ has mentioned. It was no wonder they couldn't get into the team. You got that lot of players ahead of him all the time. There's no wonder they couldn't break into the team. So they went out on loan, did all right on loan, and then got sold. And then, of course, they've developed when they got to play.
I do that when I want. Anyway, Torres saying he'd gone to a big club now after leaving Liverpool was a fucking outrageous comment. I'm sure you've said worse. Like the time you said Ipswich were a big club.
Well, Torres was a Liverpool fan, wasn't he, when he was a kid? That's the thing. So Torres, going to Liverpool was like going to like his boyhood favourite
Chelsea are the footballing graveyard, though. Like, you can count on one hand how many like strikers they've purchased that actually produce the goods.
Yes, it's basically all I can think of in recent times is Drogba.
Yeah,
Lukaku for his first stint before they got rid of him.
but even then, his first stint was made mainly out of he did well on loan at West Brom and things like that.
Yeah, I thought he was okay for Chelsea, to be honest, before he dropped off. But mainly Drogba. Drogba was great, wasn't he? But before then, who did they have as a real striker that was very good? I mean, not at that level. They didn't have anyone at that level.
No, obviously Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank did a job for him. To be fair,
yeah, he was all right.
Obviously, we're more talking the Abramovich era. Like,
yeah,
they would buy. There's so many hand over fist. Like the list. Obviously, you mentioned that Russell wrote out, and it's all literally just hand over fist players that they overpaid for and all under delivered.
Yeah.
I think it's more says a lot about the style of the Premier League and our players can flourish outside of it. But then once you're dropped into that, because it's genuinely different. And like people will say, like, oh, but Messi always scored against English clubs in Europe. I was like, yeah, but those are the English clubs that play a more continental style of football, but can also mix it up. And I suppose it's when people like to go, oh, can he do it on a cold night in Stoke? Well, yeah, well, no, in the sense that it gets said because, like, a Stoke or whatever. Like, you'd think Shevchenko could score against any team in England, but he didn't.
Nah. But Shevchenko, to be fair, he came just a bit past his prime, didn't he? He was just a little bit past his prime. I'm not excusing him. I'm saying he should have still scored a lot more goals.
Oh, they were fiddled by Barcelona. Like, despite us slagging them off, that Champions League match was fucking atrocious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Despite my dislike of them, like, you'd have to have dark glasses on and be Stevie Wonder or Helen Keller or someone to say that was not a questionable, let's just say.
Is that the one when Mourinho went mental and the referee retired after the match?
And Drogba was like, let's just say he was cutting an Obafemi African Murder King style face at the camera.
Yeah. Hang on, I've got to grab a phone call. Hang on.
No problem. Russ Morgan says Diego Costa was all right. He always scored against us. Was that in the first stint or the second stint, sir? Or was it both stints? Ipswich gone 4-0 up. Good day's work at the office for Ipswich, to be fair to them. I'm always fair, despite my personal anxiety, I feel. Or I can justify all my delusions in my own head. Anyway, but I'm not the only one with footballing delusions. You all have them. And they all come out eventually. Because you'd on a Mr. Arsenal podcast, you'd think Arsenal have never ever lost a game by legitimate means, because there's always some cheating going on against Arsenal, even though there's not. But you'd think so. You nestle yourself in there, and it's always, oh, the ref fucked us, or whatever it's like. He didn't fuck you. Didn't fuck you at all. Didn't fuck you at all, lads. Anyway, Mr. Stefan. I'll be done that one. There was
Diego Costa was a shithouse, wasn't he? That was a shithouse.
Wasn't it? Wasn't when he was like 27, he looked like, or sorry, when he was 19, he looked like a grizzled old vet.
Yeah. He's always looked old, hasn't he? Always looked really old. But no, he was a shithouse. He hated us and we hated him. He was always causing shit against us, trying to get defenders sent off and punching them and grabbing them and hated him.
When I first saw Liam, I honestly thought someone was being murdered. But yeah, that being said, what's going on around the grounds?
Still 1-0 to Burnley against Brentford.
Forest are still winning at Luton. I mean, ultimately, I think the three that go down are going to be the same three that came up, to be fair. Obviously, Luton have made more of a fight of it than everyone else, but the thing that has undone them is they've gone in front so many times and not held their nerve.
That's the thing. Luton have scored goals, haven't they? They've scored goals, but they've just let so many in.
Yeah. And the same thing with Burnley in the context of, I was saying this last night on the stoop, where Burnley are players will always want to go on loan to a championship club they feel are doing well, because they know they're going to see a lot of the ball. Like, if you join Burnley in the championship, you're going to play in a fairly attacking side. Even under Sean Dyche, they would have been an attacking side in the championship because they had the better players. So they were always going to be up that end of the pitch.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, you have these players that they want to play in a team that's going to do well. Not unreasonable, obviously. But then when those same players, when they got promoted, they were like, oh, do you want to play for Burnley in the Premier League? No, mate. I'll go elsewhere. Because Burnley strikers are essentially just watching the ball.
Yeah.
Than watching the defence struggle to some degree. And
no, you're right. It's but then when you saw what the thing what I found a bit strange with Burnley was they seemed to put so much trust in that squad they had from the championship, and you can sort of tell why, because they were like, yeah, we did so well in the championship, we'll just add 2 or 3 players, and we should be okay to sort of like stay up. But the problem was, all those players they had there from that championship team, that championship squad, they're just not proper Premier League level. At least all the players, many of the players that were starting, you could just see they were so substandard.
Like, I'm looking in, I'm just checking it now to see if Nathan Teller is there permanently. But Nathan Teller essentially had the option of going back to Burnley on loan or permanent, Whereas now he's playing for Bayer Leverkusen. He's potentially going to win the Bundesliga, potentially, but he could be watching the Burnley defence just concede goal hand over fist.
Yeah.
And I potentially see that in the future of another certain club that's potentially going to get promoted.
But when you saw
Because they've got
Burnley,
a lot of lone players too.
when you saw the Burnley lineup in their first games of the season, I mean, it was just real dross. It's like so many of the players just like he's not Premier League level. It's they should have changed a lot more of their squad, to be honest. But
well, we've got one of their players on loan, Connor Roberts, and he was in the Championship team of the season last year. But all that tells me, and people can say it's defeatist or whatever, but he's done a good job for Leeds. Whenever he comes on in games, he scored the goal, the equaliser against Leicester, for example. He's got an assist here and there or whatever. Like, I'm very pleased with his contribution. But the reality is, there's a reason why he's in the Championship team of the year, and then 6 months later, he's loaned back to the Championship.
yeah. Yep. And Stefan will be pleased to know that Norwich have gone 3-0 up away at Stoke.
I think it's more
Norwich now 3-0 up away at Stoke.
Like yeah, that is their form's been really good, to be fair, Norwich, but they've hit that form a bit too late. Well, not for the playoffs, but you know what I mean. Usually it's like September to April where they go on their 20-game unbeaten streak or whatever, but not this year. I mean, they could still end up going up, to be fair, but I don't know. See how it pans out in these final tetchy weeks of the season.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, yeah, because most of your team are on loan, Stefan. It feels like. But they're not necessarily going to be players that want to play in a relegation battle in the Premier League, as Burnley have found out.
Do you think that, like Championship and League One teams and lower down, that they're too reliant on loan players?
I think the football. Do you know what? I think the main reason for it and why it has to be the case is because the transfer market has been so inflated by a core group of clubs that you can't actually afford to permanently buy most players anymore.
No.
So you essentially have to borrow players.
Yeah.
And at best you'll get the best of these players for a year up to a year, let's say. But then ultimately, you are still then basically putting market value onto the players of Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah, and of course the downside is you lose that player and you have to start again, don't you?
You have to find the next one for a big club to give them game minutes, and because apparently, if you loan a player from Liverpool and you don't play him, they create a contract where you have to pay Liverpool money. Something like this.
Yeah. Burnley now 2-0 up. Burnley have scored.
All right, so the key for Burnley is we sit and slag them off for 10 minutes and then they score goals.
Yeah, for Fartman just scored.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, I think Brentford's downfall will be. Now I'm going to move on to slagging off Brentford. I think.
Yeah, because they've had a complete and utter fall off the cliff this season.
They still won't go down because by virtue that just there's simply 3 teams that are genuinely worse. But there's only so far Moneyball can take you, surely.
Yeah.
like eventually Brighton, I feel eventually Brighton will be similar to Brentford in the fact that they'll regress to the natural, the mean of what they are. As horrible as that sounds, like what's the best way I can put it? Eventually it goes so well that everyone does it. Like, you know, the film Moneyball, like the Oakland Athletics, like it turned out that they paid 10 grand per win compared to the New York Yankees, who would pay like 2 million per win or whatever it was, like with the value of the contracts and stuff. But then all that meant is that then all the big teams just started doing what the Oakland Athletics did, but with more resources to do it.
Yeah, just gets copied.
So then everyone does the same thing. So basically, like, obviously Chelsea's transfer policy of just who are Arsenal interested in, will outbid them.
Yeah,
is
pretty much. Yeah. No, it's interesting you say that because, I think that has become the thing with Moneyball now. That statistics-driven way of looking at players now, instead of just the old school scouting method, where he looks like he's a good kid. You know, you're looking at all the stats now very, very thoroughly, in depth. That's become a thing for all of them now because they see it as a way of getting hold of a player, basically. Then to find someone that they don't have to pay a lot of money for. You know, I think that's something for all clubs, really. That's the dream, isn't it, for a club to go somewhere and say, we'll buy your player. You know, some European club somewhere, some gem in the rough, some unearthed gem. You say, we'll buy him for 15 million. And they'll be like, great, thank you. That's 15 million. We've never had that money before.
Yeah.
And then they develop him and bring him, make him a star. That's, that's definitely the way I think a lot of clubs want to go. But like you say, it can only last so long. You can't sustain that surely every season, because you just can't keep. Those statistics are not always going to match up with reality. And when you put them you're taking them out from the situation they're in into a new situation, into a new, like some guy in the Swiss Premier League who's balling it out in the Swiss Premier League. Yeah, he's a talent, he's this and that. His statistics look good. It shows that he should be good in the Premier League. But then when you actually bring him into the Premier League and he actually does it for real, he can flop. I know we've seen that with so many players who they just flop when it comes to the reality of the situation.
I think, you are right. But I think the reason I would disagree with Stefan here is because he's basically describing reasons like Brighton stuck there, but we would have said the same thing about Southampton 10 years ago. They were selling players to Liverpool, like making cash hand over fist. But then what happens then when you try and replace a Sadio Mane or whoever with a player that's just not as good, doesn't have the same output? Then basically Liverpool are not going to give you money just because out of a loyalty to, you usually feed us. They just go, no, we're not interested in your current crop of players. And then they're stuck with these shit players. Yeah. And there's only one way you go, Sam. You go backwards.
Yeah, it's like you say, there's limits there, isn't there? You can't just keep doing it and think it's going to keep delivering. It's a difficult process. But I just want to answer Russ's question there about Bellingham. Because apparently according to Solskjaer, he was at United.
Yeah.
He was at United before he went to Dortmund. And
they were showing him round, weren't they?
They were showing him round and everything. And he made a very good impression. He really knew what he wanted to do, and he was a real mature kid, and he really knew what he wanted to do for his career. Right? And he just felt he was going to get much more out of his career going to Germany than going to United. And he as you can see, it panned out correctly. So apparently United were interested in him from Birmingham, but he decided to go to Dortmund. And I think it's a good way of going, because if you're at that level, I think you can get a lot more out of going to maybe a top German club than just sitting on the bench and not doing anything at a Premier club.
You know, partly what because I think he basically said to them, like, I would like to play football immediately, kind of thing. Like, I actually want minutes, like, not here and there. And generally in England, at the top level of the Premier League, you can't be guaranteed those minutes because there's a lack of trust. They're like, no, we have to give these minutes to a player we paid 70 million for,
Yeah.
sort of thing. I know they would have paid Birmingham a good chunk of money for Birmingham, whatever, But Dortmund could turn around to him and go, right, well, you'll be playing with Jadon Sancho, you'll be playing with Erling Haaland. That like a laundry list of players and a catalogued history, not historically, like Man United, 30 years ago, we won the title with kids. It's like, no, it's 30 years ago. What's that got to do with the price of milk in Saudi Arabia compared to now, sort of thing? And whereas Dortmund can go, you'll be playing up front, not up front, you'll be giving assists to Erling Haaland and you'll get assists because it's Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. They could turn and go, right now, you will play in this team. This is our plan for you. Because that's how Dortmund, they stay, because they don't, I think you alluded to it in a comment section recently. I could be wrong. But there's no money in ticketing in Germany because their revenue comes from player sales.
Yep. They've all kept ticket prices low to make sure that families can still have access to all the big clubs and the big games, which is admirable. I'm well behind that. The only problem is it has a knock-on effect of it's a huge amount of revenue that clubs then miss out on.
I think they don't care though.
They don't. The Germans are great like that. They're not really that bothered because they just want that. They put people first. I know it sounds crazy, but they would rather have their low income fans or middle income fans coming to the games than just basically high paying business people and tourists.
That's really
I admire them for that. I really do. But at the end of the day, it means they're missing out on a lot of money throughout the year. And they can't be competitive. They just can't. They can't have the money they need to go and buy the big players and pay their wages. So they have to work developmentally. So that's why Borussia Dortmund and some of these other clubs in Germany, they're very smart by working developmentally. They'll go and find the second and third level players that they can develop and then sell for a profit.
Exactly right. But it might just be my brain, my fucked up brain, some would say. When you said they put people first, the literal first thought in my head was, it's a shame they also subscribe to the same thing of putting the German people first in 1939. So,
the interesting thing with Germany is they have a lot more belief in making sure that there's more of a flat structure in terms of society, that you don't have such a huge gap between those who have a lot and those who don't. Like, there's a law in Germany, it's actually labor law in Germany, that if you're a company that has a board of directors, and I can't remember the exact law text now, but it's like if you're a company with an amount of employees above a certain number and you have an actual board of directors, that board of directors has to have at least one member from the biggest union at the business at the company. So you'll have a union representative by law on the board of directors who has a say on the board of directors, which is a fantastic thing. And that's by law. Another thing by law, which many people don't realize, by labor laws in Germany, they did this some while ago, which is fantastic. They actually made it law that your boss, unless specifically stipulated in your contract, or you're working like as like an A&E person or something with life and death, where you have to be on, basically. But if you're just working a normal job and it's not stipulated in your contract, your boss is legally not allowed to contact you or ask you to do any work, either by telephone or email, after your last hour of working. So if you say you work at 5 p.m., that's the normal time you finish. Your boss is not allowed to contact you by telephone or by email to ask you a work-related task or to get you to do a work-related task after that time, unless you have it stipulated and agreed in your contract.
It's funny you say that because the same rule applies in my company, but that's more because they did it once and I shouted at them.
Right.
But yeah, it's not legally binding. It's more of a Tom Biden.
Well, if you have your own agreement, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's your own agreement between you and the company you work for. But I'm talking about in Germany. This is law.
I know what you mean.
This is basically, that is the law of the land, and that is the way it is, unless a company agrees with you specifically to do it differently.
It's like basically like, not to get into work culture, but people like are saying like, it's been said, oh, people want to work less now. It's like, no, just people before were basically being taken the piss out of by employers, and people now see it more for what it is, and are just not having it, sort of thing. Like debate, in my opinion. But I digress. Russ Morgan did say Germany has their own NXT. fake fans basically on put onto. So basically, you're telling me the wall, in Borussia Dortmund Stadium, you're telling me that's not real people and it's just a CGI wall.
That's just a CGI wall. A big yellow CGI wall.
Be amazing. Yeah. German model is far more palatable. Germans don't have a government who are self-serving stuff. Again, though, might have been a bit of a different question 100 years ago, sir. I'd argue they were mightily self-serving around the time of 1939. But anyway, but no, seriously, I shouldn't joke about it. People died. It's very hard to make people redundant in Germany. That does appear.
Yeah.
So the boss can still send you a fax. So I mean, yeah. Admittedly, me personally, I've not stipulated that they can't send me a request via carrier pigeon.
Can still do it by carrier pigeon.
Yeah. So if they did, I suppose I have no recourse to get upset. And got promised a new Bill of Rights after Brexit. Where the fuck is it? Exactly, Tom. Not 100 years ago, though. Yeah, but I'm still going to say it.
Yeah, we're bitter, man. We're bitter.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're only nice now because your forefathers were fucking cretins.
Oh, Tom.
I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. Despite what people might say. And people are entitled to have their opinion, of course, but I'm entitled to go, I'm not wrong, you are. Whatever. It makes sense.
Yeah. But Germany is a fascinating country with a fascinating history, to be honest, because, you know, there's very few countries that's caused as much shit as they have they've got a relatively short history, basically. You know, their history, the German nation, you know, that's the way we know them in modern times. A relatively short history, and they've created 2 world wars. So yeah, you're not completely wrong. But they did move on after World War II.
Yeah.
After World War II, they did move on and do some smart things though, with their labor laws and things like that. So, you know, they did actually try and do some things better. But yeah, you want to look back historically. I mean, Germany's fucking launched 2 world wars, haven't they? Fucking, yeah, well done.
Yeah, it's like we're sitting here praising them, and it's like, okay, you murder 6 million people less than you did 80 years ago. Well done.
Mm.
If you really want to impress me, just don't kill 6 million people at some point in your existence.
Yeah, but then you know, you've got You've got the UK, you've got the United Kingdom. So we haven't exactly been great ourselves, have we, Tom?
No, but we do wear great top hats.
We do. We have great uniforms. Very good uniforms.
And our English is fantastic. In my poor French accent. The man with the moustache was on the rise 100 years ago, though. Certainly was. I wonder what my dear grandfather thought. This is why I regret it's my fault bringing it around to this.
We got him going.
Yeah.
We got him going.
Yeah. I immediately saw it, so I was like, what have we done? I wonder what my dear grandfather fought for. Came home from the war and put in a workhouse. The Tory way.
Yeah. I mean, the Tories have done a lot of crappy things, and they are horrible. But the problem I have at the moment, Stefan, and just to engage with you a little bit there, what are Labour offering? Are they offering anything? I mean, I don't see them going out. The Labour Party going out offering anything. Listen, I'm not voting Tory. There's no way I'm voting Tory. I hate Tory, so I just want to get that out of the way. But at the same time, I'm looking at Labour. I'm like, well, what are you offering? Well, you got any ideas? And all they keep doing is they keep backtracking and reneging and all the ideas they come up with. They're ridiculous. They promise this, they promise that, then they say no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. What is in their manifesto? I think their manifesto is just a complete mess.
My understanding on a less deeper level of this is basically Labour do the sort of thing where it's like you can promise anything as long as you deep down know you're not going to have to deliver it. So they sit there and go, the day after a general election that you're running from, which they're obviously not really, but they're like, you're running from this general election because, the day after the streets of London will be paved with gold. Absolute gold. And it's like, and then Labour go, that's really cool. How are you going to pay for it?
Yeah.
But that's their answer most things. How are you going to pay for it?
But you know what? And this is what we see with Labour, and this is what we see all over the world. It's the easiest thing in the world to be the opposition government. It's the easiest thing in the world because all you got to do is criticise on what the sitting government hasn't been doing. That's all you got to do. But at the end of the day, if you win the election and you take over, you have to go in and fix those things. You promised to fix this, you promised to fix that. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. And what we see with Labour, like Russ, I'm completely thinking with Labour. I agree with Russ. They just talk the talk. They say, "Oh yeah, we should do this, we should do that," but they haven't got a plan for it, and they can't tell you how they're going to pay for it. They've got no idea, or they're just not telling anyone how they're going to pay for it. So, what alternative have you got? What alternative do you really have? You want to vote Labour, you don't know what you get. You have no idea what you're getting.
This is ultimately, Russ has said it here, this is ultimately the crux of the matter, is that your whole model is basically Labour Party. The opposition are evil. And it's like, if they're really that bad, which I feel they are, but if they are really that bad, why can't you beat them in a fucking election?
Yeah.
Because you haven't for a long time.
Yeah.
You got absolutely destroyed in the last one.
Yeah. Well, the last one was...
There were towns that had never, ever voted Tory that were voting Tory.
Yeah, and that was post-Brexit. That was post-Brexit because Brexit didn't get delivered, and it was also because the Labour Party was completely broken. Remember the whole Corbyn thing? The Corbyn thing, they were all fractioned into different fractions. They couldn't agree on anything. It was like the Labour Party was just disintegrating. That was only a few years ago. People don't. This is what gets me with mainstream media. They're so biased and so focused on certain things that they want to portray that they just completely forget and just overlook glaring bad things that they should try and look at and try and explain. And that is, just not many years ago, like you say, that the Tories absolutely won a landslide election. How they got all their seats back and everything in areas, like you say, that they haven't won for many, many years. because the Labour Party had fuck all, hadn't delivered on any part of the things they were supposed to be delivering on, and basically the Labour Party was nearly completely broken up with the whole Corbyn thing, and those who were for Brexit and against Brexit, they were fighting amongst themselves all the time.
That's basically it. That holiday we had for nearly 2 years wouldn't have happened. I think we'd still be living in a Boris Johnson wonderland. I mean, say what you will about him. The reality is, I do think it was shame. Like, whether you don't believe in Brexit or not, but the fact of the matter is, it was voted for. And I think there was a belief among the majority of the population that you said you'd stand by the result, and now you're trying to overturn it, which is not democratic in the slightest.
Exactly.
And I think that is the main reason. Obviously, everyone knows it's the main reason they got landslided. Is because you basically said, we will respect your opinion because we think you're going to vote for what we want you to. And we didn't. As a country. They
didn't deliver on what they were supposed to be delivering. That was Brexit. They didn't do anything for Brexit. They just tried to ruin it. The first thing they tried to do was, let's try and reverse it. Can we reverse it? And of course, they didn't get enough traction for that, which is, completely right. And then they couldn't agree on anything within their own party. Corbyn, they completely fucked over Corbyn, and they couldn't agree on who a proper leader was, and this and that. They're a party that nearly got disintegrated after Brexit. No wonder they got completely trashed by that last general election.
Basically, it was all a lot of that. The thing I find quite reprehensible about the Labour Party. And I say that before he goes, Tom, you're massive Tory. The reality is, we know the Tories are awful. Like, they are in the Simpsons world, they are Mr. Burns. All right? Let's get that clear. They are any scene in the Simpsons where Mr. Burns is sat round the table in the castle and it's like all the thunder and lightning and stuff. Like, that is the average Labour Party meeting.
Yeah,
not Labour. I meant to say Tory party meeting. Like, that is the perception. I'm thinking of the Republican Party and all that. But Labour's not actually that far removed from that. Like, basically, they're like, we abhor their racist views and tactics. It's like, yeah, but you don't subscribe to the same thing about the Jewish.
You know what, Tom? You know what? This whole thing going on at the moment about, Labour are so, the latest that Tory party House member of House who said that racist thing, and they're like, oh my God, it's so racist, reprehensible, blah blah blah, so racist. Do people remember where the Labour Party fucking came from in the 30s?
Go on.
The Labour Party, right? They had a whole fraction of the Labour Party that sympathised with the Nazis. They wanted to support. They wanted to bring in the Nazi Socialist Party regime into the UK in the 30s. Thankfully, they didn't. That didn't happen because they couldn't get the support for it. But that's what they wanted to do. But people forget this, don't they? People don't think about that. That's part of Labour's. That's part of Labour's fucking history, right there.
They say what you will about them. I just think a lot of it is hypocrisy. It's like, they're obviously racist, so vote for us. And it's like, yeah, but you're just less obviously racist.
Yeah. There's shit on both sides. That's the thing.
Yes.
This is the thing. And I think it was Russ or Stefan said it earlier that basically the model we have at the moment, where there's two large parties that most people vote for, is now it's redundant. It's well past its use, and it's not fit for purpose anymore because both parties are corrupt. Both parties have so many faults and inaccuracies, and they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. The people who actually run the country, which are the bureaucrats, the the people in Whitehall and the people in the offices and everything behind the government in the government buildings who actually run the country and do all the legwork. They're the same people that have been there for 20, 30 years. It doesn't matter if it's Labour. It doesn't matter if it's Conservative. They're the same fucking people. It's, that's why you never get anything different. It's all the same stuff. So what country needs and what the world needs really is we need a restart. We need a third party. We need someone new, a new party, something new to come in, hit the reset button and say, right, let's try something different. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's not continue doing the same old shit that we've been doing for 30 years. It doesn't fucking work. Look at America as well. They're completely fucked. Democrats and Republicans, even though one is definitely worse than the other, they're both completely, they're so well past what they're useful for. There's so much corruption and just complete and utter inadequacies there on both sides. They need an independent party to come up there and take control. An independent president and just take control. And the same for the UK. We need a new third party who people can vote and bring in and have bring into power. Because whether you vote Labour or whether you vote Tory, you're going to get the same fucking shit. It's going to be a nightmare. The economy is in a recession. We don't have enough money in this country to bring us out to where we need to be. Everything's broken. All our fucking public systems are broken. They don't want to fix it because they just don't want to spend the money on it. So what are you going to do? You got to bring in something new. That's what you got to do.
It won't, no, because these are probably things that have been said for the last 30 years, but ultimately it's still if you don't vote for one of the two, you've wasted your vote. Unfortunately, is the reality of it. I feel this is why I get angry at the Labour Party, is because it's like you should win a lot, but you don't, because you do the political equivalent of shooting yourself in the foot. And I know it's silly. This sounds really silly, but it's like, I can't remember now. I think Emily Thornberry, when it came out, like she had absolute disdain for white van workers, and it's like, but that's who you're appealing to.
Yep, you're right.
Like they themselves come off as like they try and come off as like, oh, we're regular everyday people. Like, say what you want about Nigel Farage, but he successfully, every time you saw him with a pint in his hand, he successfully conned people into thinking he was just like them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whereas the Labour Party fail at convincing people that they're just like them, because they're not just like them. Yeah. It's the equivalent of, sorry, I don't mean to digress, but it's the equivalent of, no matter who wins, we lose ultimately, because they all still get paid. Like, at the end of the day, I bet at the end of election night or so, like Starmer's gonna like have a nice quiet cognac with what's his name, Rishi or whatever, and they will laugh at all the saps that get angry on the internet and on social media and that, like it's a sporting event when it's not. It's life.
Yeah, you're right.
And these things should matter, but they don't, because no matter what happens, they all still get paid.
But you're right. You're absolutely right, Tom. You made some good points there, and I agree with absolutely most of that. And just before we get back on the scores, I just want to say one final thing.
Yeah, please.
And that is, the country is in a quite dire situation, financially, economically, and even as Labour coming in now, they've got a lot of problems that need to be fixed, and it's like, how are you going to fix it? Because they don't have a clear plan on how to do it, and they certainly won't. They won't tell people how are they going to spend money, because you have to spend money to fix these problems. If you're going to, we don't need less resources. We need more. Everything's broken. We need more police. We need more doctors. We need more nurses. We need more. The NHS has to be expanded in terms of its resources. Schools have to be refurbished and improved. That's where we are, because it's been neglected. And, we haven't just had austerity for 14, 15 years. But the schooling system and many of these systems have been neglected and let, go the wrong way, go downwards for 30, 40 years now. They haven't been prioritised at all. So this is what we're seeing now is the outcome of that, of all the previous governments just basically putting it on the back burner and say, oh, we'll take care of that later. Because unfortunately, with the election cycles we have, where you're only worried about the next 5 years because you want to get back into power, you're just about short wins, not long-term gains. You're in this problem where we are now, where we're in a huge hole now that was started 30, 40 years ago that we now have to get ourselves out of. And at the end of the day, we can't get out of this by lowering taxes. We've got more and more people coming into our country. That's a whole different debate, how and why, etc. We've got more and more people coming into our country who are not contributing through tax.
Yep.
They're only taking out through benefits, but not contributing through tax. That's increasing more and more every year. And at the same time, they're cutting the resources on our public systems and public, infrastructure. How does that balance? How do you think that's going to end, apart from just collapse? So the only way you can fix it is you have to remove one or more of the parts, or you have to put loads of money into it to fix it. And where's the money going to come from? They don't know where the money's going to come from. They just have no idea, no plan. So you're going to have to raise taxes. That's what's going to have to happen. You're going to have to raise taxes and different fees and stuff to try and pay for this, because or else you're not going to have the money to do any of this. Or you can take money from the rich, of course. There's that angle as well. But they don't want to do that, of course, because that's their cronies and their pals. So we're going to have to raise taxes. And I'm not against raising taxes when it goes to pay for infrastructure and services, because that's what we need. But apparently you can't say that to people. We need to raise taxes because people don't want to pay more tax. But at the end of the day, how are you going to pay for anything? We can't pay for anything at the moment without doing that. We just don't have the money to do it. So, yeah, it's a huge mess. And whether you vote Labour or whether you vote Tory, that huge problem is still going to be there, and they're not going to be able to figure it out. Really, it's going to be a huge mess for a long time. And back to the football. 6-0 Ipswich. It's 1-1 Luton Nottingham Forest. Luton have scored, and Brentford scored a goal. So it's the Burnley 2, Brentford 1. So that's where we are at the moment.
Last minute goal for Luton, Luke Berry. And obviously, let's talk about the important games in the Championship, which is Watford are winning at Birmingham, Middlesbrough drawing 0-0 drew 0-0 with Blackburn. Preston have scored at Plymouth. Rotherham got a 0-0 draw with Huddersfield in that relegation battle. Norwich, I've always respected Norwich, win 3-0 at Stoke, and Sunderland are drawing 0-0 with Crystal Park Rangers, I was going to say, and West Brom have beat Bristol City, and I don't know about any other scores there because I don't know acknowledge the other one.
Let's see. Yeah, Luton's just finished now. Luton 1, Forest 1. That's full time.
I wonder how Queen's Palace are going to be getting on when they play there.
Crystal Palace.
As I said though, it's absolutely destined, Dave. So we're just going to finish above Leeds. Destined. Just feeling my bones.
Let's see, the results are coming in here now, thick and fast.
So I suppose we should try and go out and score 6 past Millwall to try and negate this, but whatever happens, happens. I mean, it does add weight to my theory, though, of Sheffield Wednesday's effort. Just saying.
Sheffield Wednesday got stuffed, didn't they? By Ipswich.
I imagine they must have still been tired from giving it 147% against Leeds last week.
Mansfield and Bradford ended, or Bradford Mansfield ended at 1-5. So in the second half, they basically played 1-1 in the second half.
Which some would say is the moral victory that Bradford were looking for all along.
Yeah, they drew the second half.
Those Bradford fans are sitting there right now singing. When they're not sitting there, they've probably left. But if they were, they're probably sitting there singing. We drew 1-1 in the second half with you. You'll never sing that. I mean, it needs some reworking, if we're being honest. Sutton United have won 1-0, which is important because they are at the bottom of League Two. And they won at Forest Green Rovers, who are second bottom in League Two.
Right.
The Basement Boys clash. And I look forward to the Wrexham documentary where they show all the tears and stuff after Wrexham have lost 1-0 to Transmere.
Does Plymouth have any bearing on you in any way? Nah.
Not really, but they are dangerously flirting with the relegation.
Well, they just lost. Plymouth just lost 1-0 at home to Preston.
No, they're in 18th place. We've been sitting there all seasons going, oh, Plymouth will be fine, but their recent form, they're not going to be fine. They are 2 points off the bottom three.
And now they just lost at home against Preston.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, Huddersfield haven't really taken advantage of that because their 0-0 draw with the bottom team, Rotherham, are... I had this contention on social media. There was a thing put up where it was basically the percentage of relegation in the Championship, and Rotherham had a 100% chance of being relegated they're going to get relegated, right? And my argument was it shouldn't be 100%. And so I was like, why shouldn't it be? At the time, they were 18 points off of safety. And I was like, yeah, but there was 9 games. So there was 27 points to play for. So to me, it shouldn't be 100%.
Yeah.
It should be 99.9%. I know it's a really pointless thing to argue about, and it's a 100% Tom being Tom kind of thing. I get that. But I still feel it's like, while they can mathematically survive, it's not 100%.
True. You're right. You are technically correct, Tom.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. They will go down. That weren't what I was disputing. I was like, they absolutely are going to go down. But they can survive. So it shouldn't be... Exactly.
There's a difference between mathematical, basically fact and what you think is going to happen, isn't there?
They could win every remaining game. They haven't because they drew today, and still go down in terms of, because then that depends on the form of the other teams. But if every team around them also lost, they would survive.
Yeah, like Gloria Gaynor.
Exactly. Well, didn't ever think we'd get Gloria Gaynor on the road trip.
That's it. Everything on a road trip, mate.
Russell was in.
Today has been a glorious, glorious show. We have covered everything. We've covered politics. We've covered football. We've talked a little bit about
1939.
1939. We've had golden showers. We've had, we've had loads of things on today.
I went all jazz on the audience.
You went all jazz on the audience? I think that was before I came on, was it?
No, it was when I called them all pricks for what they were saying about Leeds.
All right. I think that's before I came on.
I mean, to be fair, I can justify that by saying it's okay when I do it. like full, I'm going full hypocrite. But no, in my genuine defense, it's like he had literally never been in our chat or anything, and was literally like, "Oh, all these pricks in chat, they don't agree with me on Arsenal or whatever, and they didn't want the manager sacked." I was like, "No, that's not on. How dare you say that about little Colonel Ward?"
You're right.
Who, incidentally, I do think is a massive prick. But it's for me to tell him.
You did the right thing, Tom. You did the morally right thing.
But
So Burnley won. Burnley 2, Brentford 1. Final score now.
Russ enjoyed today.
Well, thank you, Russ. Thank you. You made some good points in the chat, as did Stefan as well. I know we went real political today, didn't we? We go, what's the thing on road trip? You know, you go off the road, you follow the flow, you go off the road, you come back again, you crash, you burn, you go to an intensive care unit, you get a defibrillator and get brought back to life again, and you just start driving again. You know, that's what happens here on the road trip.
What happened, Stefan? Why did you stand up for him a few weeks ago? This is a story I don't know. It might have been during my absence. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I fully expect Gary to re-listen through this and sit there and squirm the whole time, going like, sort of thing. And gave us the keys, mate. You knew this could happen.
Right, so
but anyway, yeah. So
I suppose the FA Cup game is starting soon between Manchester City and Newcastle.
That's true, and there's a Premier League game at 5, isn't there? Fulham versus Tottenham.
Fulham versus Tottenham.
Yeah, I know. Celtic won, but you wouldn't have known that because obviously Stefan doesn't care about Celtic at the moment because they're not doing too well. So he goes to the team that are. Oh, they've gone back top of the table, but Rangers could overturn that tomorrow. So, someone who will remain nameless behaved in a manner I verged on bullying. I wasn't having it. Actually, that's ironic because I felt he was being bullied at one point, and then I immediately regretted defending him because of how he treats me. So.
It's a love-hate relationship, isn't it, Tom? It's a love-hate.
Yeah. Colonel tries to fuck with my mental health, which then immediately makes me regret all the times that I try to defend him when other people were dick to him. Is the best way I can put it. But maybe I shouldn't be airing these views publicly.
Oh, you're perfectly entitled to that.
Yeah. 1 second. We have got Brownie with. I just woke up to the sound of Sutton United beating Forest Green. Yes. We cover all corners of the football ground, even Sutton. The football world, I meant to say.
Wrexham lost at home against the Trannies.
I may do a late night show tonight, but I need more sleep. Please get more sleep. Because I know if he asks me, I'll say yes. Because I feel like it's rude. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, please give me the night off. Yeah. Anyway, Stefan was going back and forth looking with what was happening with Celtic. Back and forth. Do it, Brownie. Sorry. I'm gonna do it as if Stefan talks in the voice of the movie trailer guy. Do it, Brownie, but not this half-hour shit. But I just want to do a small show for half hour. Well, you can't. This summer.
This summer, from the valleys of Wales, comes Brownie's cryptocurrency shitcoin nonsense.
Little Brownie boy does a podcast.
And Stefan says it has to be longer than half an hour. Well, he goes on for 42 minutes and then goes to sleep.
On August 31st, we will end the summer with football with Brownie.
One man, one desire. The valleys of Wales will never be the same again.
Denzel Washington is Adam Brown.
Denzel Washington plays Adam Brown out of Dubai into the valleys.
Hey, motherfucker. Hey. It's time to talk football. My M-word. Not going to say it, but... You shot me in the ass. Wait, what? Can you tell I've seen Training Day 4 or 5 times?
Brilliant film.
Hey, you see, I'm here reading a newspaper. I'm reading this newspaper because it entertains me. When you start talking to me while I'm reading my newspaper, you're taking away my entertainment. So, motherfucker, you fucking entertain me, motherfucker. Or whatever it is he said. Anyway, I'd love to hear Denzel Washington do a Welsh accent.
You know who could play Adam Brown? Looks a little bit like him if you put on like a bit of prosthetics, and that would be Daniel Day-Lewis.
There will be podcast.
Yeah. Denzel Washington did a Cockney accent once. He did it in one of his first movies. He was in London. He was playing I think he was playing a policeman or something like that. I'm talking Denzel Washington now. And he did this. He's trying to be a Cockney, and he sounded terrible.
There's an actor who has the same name as him, like, but he's not related to him. Is it like Washington, like Denzel Whitaker, something like this?
Yeah, there's some there. You got Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, but I think it's not the guy who is Denzel's son who was acting, but they basically went to him, "Were you named after Denzel Washington?" And he went, "No, absolutely not." And then he later found out from his parents he was exactly named after Denzel Washington. So he had to come out and admit it.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but
yeah,
I can't remember the name anyway.
1 second, I'll find it out because we have mini computers in our pockets.
We fucking do. Forrest Washington. That's not a real name. Please don't tell me that's a real name. You talk about Forrest Whitaker, aren't you?
I am exactly talking about. Hang on. There is
someone's called his kid after the 2 favourite actors, Forrest Whitaker and Denzel Washington. He's called him Forrest Washington.
Ironically, Denzel Whitaker is in Training Day as the little boy, Dimitri.
Right.
Who is the boy in the scene where him it's like his illegitimate son, and Ethan Hawke is basically like, come over here because he stood in between them while in the middle of their shootout.
Right.
In the house, while Eva Mendes is in the background being naked, and Eva Mendes.
Oh, Eva Mendes, don't get me going.
She's in a film with Steven Seagal, and it's genuinely true. I think it's called Exit Wounds. I might be wrong. I could be 100% wrong on this, but she's in a film, I think it's Exit Wounds with Steven Seagal, and she turned up to the premiere, and while watching the movie, discovered that they dubbed over her voice. Eva Mendes got dubbed over.
That's happened quite a few times.
The star. Yeah.
That's happened quite a few times with small, when I was fringe actors and stuff. They get told that they're in the final cut, and then all of a sudden they go to the cinema and they're not there.
There's actually a wrestler that happened to in the movie about the Von Erich family. It's called the Iron Claw, but the guy who wrestles in AEW named MJF was cast as one of the brothers, and they've just cut his scene out of the film.
Right.
Which I'm sure was nice to hear, but Who named their son after Denzel Washington? Oh, a guy called Columbus Short named his son. Oh, anyway, don't know. Not Colonel, what's his name? Stefan says life is like a box of diapers. You gotta believe me. Even Sleepy Joe agrees. Yeah, but like he has no speaking scene, if I remember rightly. It was an alright film. It's a bit depressing, seeing as there's basically someone dies in it every like 5 minutes. It feels like.
Oh yeah, one of those.
Well, no, because in real life it was like they ended up having to cut out some of the deaths because too many of them were too similar. It's basically like, well, if two of the brothers commit suicide by gunshot, we only want to show one of them.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Have you seen Ricky Spanicki yet? I have not. I watched a film about lesbians yesterday at cinema.
Oh, lovely.
I think it's called Drive Away Girls, something like that.
Did you learn something?
Drive Away Dolls. Sorry, Sam. That was rude of me.
I'm saying, did you learn something new?
Yeah. I learnt to probably not watch movies about lesbians.
Right.
No, it was fine. It was fine. I think it was made by one of the Coen brothers.
Oh, okay.
So it tries to be one of those type of. It's basically like a lesbian Fargo.
Lesbian Fargo, right?
They made Fargo, didn't they? Because it had that vibe to it.
Yeah.
Like they go on a road. But cut a long story short, they go on a road trip, and it turns out that they are mistakenly given a car for the road trip, which actually belongs to like gangsters, and they obviously want the item that's in the car. But they don't know the item they're looking. This case, they don't know that it's in the car.
Right.
And then it goes from there to some extent. I could have done without seeing the boobs of Jonah Hill's sister.
Jonah Hill's sister, eh?
Yeah, who it's basically Jonah Hill, but with boobs. She's probably got bigger boobs than him since he lost loads of weight, to be fair. But yes, it was not my finest in cinema fap. I'll say that. Anyway, what? Wait, what? That's not PG. Anyway, what? Stefan watches quite a lot of films with lesbians in it, apparently. Are they on a website where you have to like type start with the letter P? And then it automatically comes up.
I bet Stefan knows exactly where to go.
Yeah. Russ Morgan says he needs to watch Fargo again. And Sirens... Oh, sorry, I misread it. Apologies. Strap-on Sirens is undoubtedly a classic.
Strap-on Sirens, wow.
So, what's the plot of the movie, sir?
Well, apparently what happens is there's a bunch of mermaids and they put on strap-ons and then they I don't know, fuck it.
Well, let's put it another way. So, if they're mermaids, okay, and their bottom half is not legs.
Yes.
How would you use the strap-on?
Because you just stick it around their bit there. They've still got something you can put it around, haven't they?
But they've got legs. They've not got legs. They're half fish.
All right, yeah. That's true. You can't put it around their legs.
Because they haven't got legs. They are literally
you just have to use it as a belt then with the dildo coming from the belt.
Yeah. But to be fair, that is the way round you'd want it. Because you wouldn't want it the opposite way. You wouldn't want a giant fish head with legs.
No, that's true.
Like, if you are going to do a half fish, that is the way round. That is correct.
That is, no, you don't want that way around.
Come on now, that's
That's just we're trying to carve out a good film plot here. It's got to be you got to put the details into it.
And Russ Morgan he's suggesting a site about hamsters for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's where you go and see your exes play with hamsters.
Yeah, basically, if you both owned a hamster, and then your ex got custody of the hamster in a divorce or breakup, that's how you legally can find. They legally have to upload footage of the hamster for anyone that
they have to upload 10 hours a week of interaction with the hamster. They have to make available for you to watch.
Yeah,
because
and you have
shared custody.
Keywords.
Shared custody of a hamster it's not easy.
It's not. So the authorities out there who are very caring about humans, they're a bit like Germans in that respect.
Yeah.
So they're like, we want people to be able to see their hamster whenever they want.
Yeah. And the hamsters have to be able to buy season tickets for the Bundesliga games.
Exactly. So you only have to then, it's like a one-stop shop. You can move from hamsters to Bundesliga instantly in one click of a button.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't do it through the X-Hamster because you might end up like putting viruses onto your computer.
That's true. You can't do that.
It's a bit like LimeWire back in the day, where you wait 8 hours for 20 seconds of footage, and then a month later you get a new computer, probably. Obviously, of hamsters, obviously, because we love hamsters on the road trip, clearly.
Exactly.
Should I'll be right back.
I just got to pop off and do one little thing. I'll be right back.
No problem, sir. Should hamsters not have rights, sir? Mr. Stefan? Just, I know you're saying you're more of a cat person, but I'll put it up here. But that being said, I just realised what I've still got here. In fact, I'm going to load it up for... I love that. Always a classic. And John Cena and Zac Efron. Oh, that's why it's a familiar thing, because I must have seen the movie poster for it. Let me find the box stuff. I love the box stuff. The box. I don't know if I've still got the box stuff. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, I've got it. What's in the box? You'd never guess what was in the box. Boxing glove on a spring. Legendary events. Yes, because at Cineworld, I could have it wrong. At Cineworld, they are doing, not that I'm paid for them, but they are doing a special icy, which I believe is like a lemon, and they call it lemon and Slimer, or Slimer, whatever it is. And it's, and I think they're doing little marshmallows as well that look like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Not to give away my my lore of Ghostbusters. And yes, Russ. What's in the box? The box. What's in the box? Boxing glove on spring, sorry. Imagine their excitement when they were discussing this. It has been amazing, and I've enjoyed seeing it. Unfortunately, they do popcorn in cinema in the States in the shape of traps. wow. It's amazing how it went like, what, 20, 25 years. People can, oh, they should do a new Ghostbusters movie. And Bill Murray's all like, no, there's not. I don't want to do one. And now all of a sudden there's one every fucking 5 minutes, it feels like. Basically, like, as soon as the ladies got their hooks in Ghostbusters, mysteriously, Bill Murray was like, nah, motherfucker. We're going to do more of that shit. Whatever it is. But I've still never seen the 2016 version, so I can't say whether it was good or not. I haven't seen it. But I did enjoy the one with the children as Ghostbusting team, or whatever it is. What was the gap between... I think it was 1989 to 2016. So, what, 27 years, maybe? If I got maths right on that. Feels like it. But they were big on, like, we're not doing another sequel to it. But now they'll be in the other sequels to it. Evidently, they didn't like money until 2016, where it was like, okay, let's get some money. God, that Dylan biopic should be interesting. And 2016 isn't as bad as people say, as long as you differentiate it from the main continuity. Like I say, I can't really. I've seen a trailer, so I've seen clips of it. So I don't want to be disingenuous and like say, oh, I've seen this bit of it that looks a bit shit or whatever. Like, I can't, because I've seen bits, but I've not sat and watched the whole thing. It does feel like there's like a culture war going on though, where like you have to say certain things are better than they actually are. Like, I enjoyed Barbie, but at the same time, I knew it was shit. But you can enjoy things and know they're not great, sort of thing. But at the same time, it's not aimed at me, so it's not going to resonate with me in the same way that it would resonate with its target audience, and that's fine. But like, well, let's just put another on social media. I got into a debate with people. They were upset that I basically said I thought Oppenheimer was boring, but I felt it was a better movie than Barbie because the way it was made, it was a more quality movie. Whereas I enjoyed Barbie more than Oppenheimer, but felt it was worse. But some people took that as, oh, you hate women. It's like, well, I hate some because they fucking deserved it. But, you know, not in the grand scheme of things. Or you'll know what I mean. Just culture, I think some people more exaggerate how much they like certain things because they feel they have to for the culture war that they're inevitably going to plot themselves into by even discussing it. Like, should Barbie have got an Oscar for certain things? I don't know if they actually did end up getting one.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Greenwood. Sorry, you walked through discussing Barbie.
Sure. I think on that note, we're on the Barbie thing now. Should we wrap it up now? I think we've been going for a while, haven't we?
Judging by the amount of children you have.
Do you want to wrap it up now?
I mean, certainly can do. Did you happen to watch the Barbie movie?
No.
Did you watch Oppenheimer?
Nope.
I
want to see them both, though. To be honest, it's just to compare.
You really should. Like I was saying, my opinion on. Put it this way. I was falling asleep halfway through Oppenheimer, but I didn't fall asleep halfway through Barbie because Barbie was half the length for a start.
Oh, that Margaret, what's her name? Fucking
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, you know, and what she was looking like. Yeah, I wouldn't fall asleep.
No, exactly. Well, other than your post-hug snooze, of course, but I don't know if that counts. No, but in fairness, like I was saying, I feel like the movie, but I feel Barbie is a less boring movie.
Yeah.
But it's not a better movie. Like, because you can tell, like, independently, you can appreciate that something can be boring but well made.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit like that. Well, thank you, Stefan.
Right.
But anyway, that being said, I suppose we should get off the train or out of the car or whatever. I forget. Is it a train trip? No, road trips in the cars, aren't they? That's silly of me. I'm just rambling now at this point. So that being said, Sam, do you have anything to say to your fans?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. All the normal, regular legends, as always. Thank you for taking part in our nonsensical Saturday afternoons, otherwise known as the road trip. I think we went pretty off topic today. I mean, we've been on politics, we've been on hamsters, rights in terms of childcare. We've had talked about 1939. We talked about German labor politics. We've been pretty ill. Created films about lonely bloggers with big noses. It's been quite a potpourri today of different subjects. It's been pretty good. And there's been a little bit of football sprinkled in between there as well. But yeah, thanks everyone for taking part. It's been great to see you all, and have a great Saturday evening.
Well, it's important you know that. Did you know, Stefan, that hamsters die if you fuck them?
I don't think he knew
because
that.
the one I did. So
did it? Yeah, but he did it all wrong.
I'm just saying. That being said, it was a great result for Ipswich, to be fair to you. So, congratulations. Is that good enough, Sam? Is that gracious enough for your liking?
Been very gracious today, Tom.
I'm never not gracious.
Well, actually, you are.
The times when I'm not.
No, it's all fine. It's part of football fandom.
But yeah, so that being said, Russ enjoyed today, which makes it so worth it.
Yes, thanks, Russ.
As long as Russ enjoyed it, it was all worth it. So I wasn't going to come on today, but I was like, we've got the opportunity to entertain Russell.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah, this has gone 3.5 hours. So thank you for Gary for starting the show off, obviously, much earlier. I mean, by now it's been a week, so I should have known better. But I still forget. In 3 weeks' time, it'd be even worse because the time will go back again, and I'll be turning up at 2 p.m. going, Gary, where's the show? Keep an eye. Your face will be glued to that radio, sir. Even have you paid your TV license to operate BBC Radio 5 Live? Just want to make sure. Not that I'll cross you up if you haven't, because not like that. But that being said, oh God, I realise I've got to do the thing for Gary, aren't I? But he never labels them. Where's the outro? Oh, wait a minute. So Gary, do you think Leeds are going to get a positive result tomorrow?
Yeah.
Where's the outro button? Because he labels them, they're all so similar in his labelling. Awful. Oh, one second. So, thank you to everyone for supporting us. Doesn't do radio. We're not going to get back into that. Have a good weekend, Stefan and Russ and Taib and even Colonel, who I think he's been part of the show without even being on the show. So, Brownie as well. He's got a movie coming out, apparently. And I'll leave you on that. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip. Go